Good afternoon, people, or good morning, or good night, wherever you are. So, a lot of people are talking about how Canelo versus Kovalev doesn't have that big fight feel, that Vegas is not sold out, and that there's a limited interest in this fight. DAZN picked the wrong fight to feature with Canelo. That's the short of it. The fight should have been Canelo versus Demetrius Andre, where you can't pick the winner. People want to say, well, Canelo going to get it, but they don't know how. Instead, they chose this fight. All right. My boy Intangible, he was a little bit upset after Kovalev. First of all, he couldn't make weight. And then on top of that, we found out yesterday that there was a rehydration clause. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Kovalev, 2014 to 2015, when he came in on fight night, he weighed somewhere between 185 and 189. Okay. He's a little bit older now, 4 years older, and he's also obviously it's going to be harder to remove that weight as you get older. 185 is not an unreasonable weight. It's 10 pounds above the actual fighting limit, the official limit. So it's not really that big a deal, but it becomes a big deal, as you can see, when Kovalev couldn't even make the weight in 2 tries, right? Of course, he had some stuff in his pocket and stuff, but he didn't make the weight in 2 tries. Now, people say, you're making a big deal out of this. It is a big deal. Kovalev has never missed weight. He's never. And even though it was, when he took his stuff out of the pockets and took off his underwear and stuff, he was just a quarter pound over the weight. It still didn't look good. If you look at Kovalev in that weigh-in, as Combat, forgot their full name, but Combat, something Combat said, you would see that Sergey, he didn't look like the Sergey we knew. He looked less defined, first of all. And then on top of that, he looked really skinny. He really looked as if it was a bit of a task to he didn't look that defined. Now, when you see Sergey, usually he looks a little bit more defined. He looks, his shoulders look strong and stuff. It didn't look that way. When we looked at Canelo and him, Canelo looked physically healthier, bigger than him. Okay, and Canelo came in 170. What was it? 174.5. Okay, Canelo looked totally healthy. It reminded me of Pacquiao versus Oscar De La Hoya. Not to the extent that Oscar was really ridiculously small, but to the extent that the smaller guy, or the guy who's supposed to be smaller, was actually physically bigger than the bigger guy. And if you do remember earlier on this year, when we saw Kovalev, his head was almost twice Canelo's head size. So therefore, just based on his structure, he should have been physically, even though he's a slim guy, physically bigger than Canelo, and it did not look like that. And it really, really told a story, in my opinion. Now, like I said before, 185 as a rehydration clause is not necessarily a bad thing, except for this. Weight, just 1 pound sometimes, just trying to make 1 pound or half a pound, it is difficult. And weight does matter, especially when you're making weight. And the fact that he had to wait till this morning to fully hydrate like he wanted to, that means they weighed him out this morning, and he would have weighed out 185, and then he could really be free to do whatever. Just the psychological pressure, just the mental pressure, just the physical pressure on his body not to rehydrate past a certain amount. Danny Jacobs couldn't do it. Okay, and Danny Jacobs, I think the dad 175 was the limit. Danny Jacobs said after that, and Danny Jacobs obviously went up in weight after the fight with Canelo. After the Canelo fight, he went up to super middleweight for that reason. Okay, I got some comments here. Let me see what you guys are saying. KP from KC, what's up, my dude? Canelo late stoppage or decision? This is not going to the scorecards, my friend. We don't need judges for this fight. And People are saying late stoppage. I moved it up. It's going to be the stoppage is going to happen within six. Within 6 rounds, Canelo's going to get Kovalev out of there. Kovalev's going to be slower than he normally is. It happened to Danny Jacobs. It happened to Rocky Fielding. It's going to happen to Kovalev. It's just what it is. KP from Casey says, Canelo got skills. He just always add these stipulations. He had that rehydration clause for Rocky Fielding. He had the rehydration clause for Danny Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? Now, the rehydration clause in and of itself is not that bad, but yet it could be pretty bad for a guy who's 1 to 2 fights away from retirement. Okay? And definitely, I think after this fight, Kovalev's going to be retired. He's going to get out of the game. If he makes it out of this fight healthy, which is another problem. It's really a serious concern on my part. I think that Canelo could really, if the ref doesn't stop the fight properly in time, we could see multiple knockdowns before the 6th round. Somewhere either within the 6th round or within the 5th round, they're going to call off the fight. The fight will have to be stopped. You know, and depending on the manner in which Canelo brutalizes Kovalev, you know, this dude might have to end up in the hospital. Canelo got skills. He just always had these stipulations. He's going to get inside the jab early. I think so. I think Kovalev's going to be slow. He's going to be slower than he normally is. He's going to be weaker than he normally was. You know, when I was watching at this fight too, at super lightweight, what's the kid's name? The unification fight between shit. But anyway, the unification fight, the WBC and WBO unification fight. You guys know what I'm talking about now. The kid who became the WBC WBO unified champion, and the other kid, the black kid, and the Mexican kid, right? The black kid, he looked real gaunt and small. Okay? And I thought to myself, I said to myself, something's wrong. He's not his full self. You know what I mean? I forgot what his name is. I forgot what the other kid's name is. When you guys ready, you would. And I think, you see, this is the problem. If Canelo had allowed Kovalev to rehydrate, probably 192, 193 is what Kovalev probably would rehydrate to. If he allowed him to hydrate like he want, don't forget to smash the like button, people, and you can subscribe to my channel as well as you can donate to my channel via Western Union or MoneyGram. Let me just throw that in there. If Kovalev was allowed to hydrate, well, he would have looked a lot more healthy. He did not look healthy, like, you know. And this is the problem. My problem with fights is not so much that the guy is old. Okay, you say he has one fight out of the door. Well, regardless, I didn't think that Kovalev's age was going to play that much of a major role. I thought that him being exposed, you know, that, you know, he's soft to the body, he can't take body punches. If you're consistent to the body, that he ain't got no inside game. I thought that was going to be the key to Canelo beating him. So Canelo didn't have to do no rehydration clause, in my opinion. He just needed to go in there and do what he do. But apparently, they had a rehydration clause for a good while, a good minute. They had this rehydration clause in there. They just wasn't revealing it. My thing is, why didn't you just reveal it from the beginning so everybody would know, including Buddy McGirt, who's his trainer? Now, Buddy McGirt was going in there thinking Kovalev didn't got no fucking rehydration clause, so you can prepare Kovalev for that. And this motherfucker got a rehydration clause. So it's going to be crazy. You know, and this is not a young Kovalev. This is not Kovalev from 2015. This is not Kovalev from 2014. This is an older, bigger Kovalev. Just taking off 1 pound is very difficult. So, you know, even if he does rehydrate back to 188, maybe 187, you know, after all is said and done, after the 185 this morning. So the nice thing about it is the rehydration clause weigh-in is going to be sometime this morning, right? Sometime this morning it happened. So he has the rest of the day to eat and really get his body relaxed for the fight. And it's a stress on your body when you got these rehydration clauses. All right, and the goal behind the rehydration clauses so they didn't get too big. But now it put a stress on the body. So when the body now is recouping, relaxing, he's probably sleeping most of the day, just relaxing, chilling out, trying to get that hydration back in properly, you know, get himself up to 192, 193. But we've seen this time and time again. Catchweights do the same thing, okay? and not as they're not as bad as rehydration clauses. But in this case, the fact that Kovalev did not make weight, this is the first time in his whole damn career he's never made weight like that. He had to do it 2, 3 times. The fact that that happened in his career was a warning sign that this guy's bigger than he was in 2015. It's a warning sign, okay? And then he did not look all that great in terms of his body. Not that it matters, but in terms of his body and the definition of his body and the conditioning of his body, it did not look good at all. So, and that means that he had a stressor to make this weight. That's what I'm thinking. This immediate going into a next fight off of another fight did not help him at all, especially a tough fight. And his body didn't respond the way how he expected it to respond. So this sort of stuff is very disturbing, okay? Because, Buddy McGirt needs to look at him very carefully. If the fight is not going in his favor, if he's taking punishment, Buddy needs to know to throw that towel in when it's necessary, okay? And like I said before, I think Canelo's going to drop him multiple times. In the beginning, he probably will have his most amount of energy. If he does have a lot of energy, I don't know what's going on with Kovalev right now. We will find out on fight night. He may come out, looking relatively fresh and clean until like maybe within a couple, maybe a minute or two within the round, we'll be able to tell if Canelo realizes this guy's too slow or whatever. Now, obviously, there are a number of things I want to say about Canelo, because a lot of people hate on Canelo, and I get it. But at the same time, you got to realize Canelo's doing the same thing that Floyd Mayweather did, and I'm gonna explain. But first of all, let me see. I got here Munzikia the Great. Shout out to you, brother. First time I'm seeing you with the toolbar right there. The rehydration clause ruined the fight for me. Man, this fight was ruined from the get-go, and this is what I want to talk about. First of all, DAZN wanted this so-called big fight, okay? First of all, people talking about, I listened to 68, my boy 68, and I agreed with it on a lot of points. But when it comes to the point of, Canelo, Canelo using what was he saying? I forgot. I think it was a rehydration clause I wanted to say. That he's using this rehydration. No, it wasn't that. It was something else. Shit. I just forgot the idea. Hold on a second. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Set up the rain. Oh, rain. Okay, so going back to what I was saying, he critiqued Canelo on something. I can't remember what it was, and I just lost my train of thought. But back to what I was saying about the rehydration clause. The rehydration clause. Let me see what you guys were saying. Maybe what you're saying is what. Nope. Yeah. So he was saying that something he was saying, but I'm going to go back to what I was going to say. So Canelo has something in common with Floyd Mayweather, like I said before. One of the things about Canelo and his team is they're able to size up fighters. They're able to size up fighters and know, okay, this dude, Floyd always says, I can instantaneously size up a person when I enter a room or whatever. And I think Canelo's team has sized up Kovalev. They know what they're getting with. And, why I think this fight is not bigger is because DAZN, they thought they had, this mega fight on their hands. But we all know, those who know boxing, okay, don't forget to smash that like button. Those of us who know boxing know that this fight is not what it appears to be. We've seen time and time again, size is not necessarily a factor, and height and reach and length okay, and telling me a guy can use a jab, they're not necessarily factors. And just to draw from Floyd Cashflow Diaz, for those of you who saw the interview with Floyd Cashflow Diaz, who is going to be turning pro soon, and he may go to the Olympics. But Cashflow basically said the thing that I think a lot of people just don't understand. He said that, you know, um, you know, that I forgot my train of thought again. So man, I'm getting fucked over by my own mind. It seems like my brain's not that sharp. But he was saying that a fighter. Um, oh yeah, I got it. So they talk about size and all this stuff, and I'm just saying that Floyd has proven time and time again size don't mean shit. Canelo has proven time and time again by facing guys much bigger than him, size don't mean shit. He's faced guys smaller than him, faster than him, guys with great jabs, guys with bigger than him, guys with more power than him. He's faced everybody. Canelo's faced everybody. Floyd's faced everybody. And Floyd Cashflow Diaz now, who's the protege of the Mayweather Boxing Club, he was talking about the fact that a lot of people don't understand that a jab is not enough. A jab is not enough in boxing. He was explaining that a lot of boxers, they go after their jab, but he said that he's a bit awkward and that he don't have to use his jab all the time. And guys like Canelo and Floyd, you know, they don't use their jab all the time. Roy Jones Jr. was a guy that didn't use his jab a lot either. And like I try to explain to people, there's something called a system of feints. When these guys actually pop their jab, it actually lands. You know, people talk about Canelo's good head movement. They don't understand he also got waist movement. He can move his body from the waist upwards, which means he can move his entire fucking body. So you can't even hit his body when you're trying to hit him. You know, the advice that Buddy McGirt is giving to Kovalev is futile advice. What I mean by that is he said touch him anywhere. Hit him anywhere. Don't just go for the head. Hit him anywhere. You know what? You know who also gave that kind of advice? You know who they always used to give advice like that to? Floyd Mayweather. Oh, we're gonna break down the shoulder. You gotta hit him anywhere. That's the shit that they talk about. And because Kovalev's not a swarmer, he's not a swarmer. He has to fight from range. He can't do Canelo shit. He can't do Canelo shit. You gotta rough up Canelo. You gotta be a Marcos Maidana kind of like puncher. You gotta throw from unorthodox angles. Fucking Kovalev gonna be throwing from the orthodox angles. So there's nothing Kovalev's going to do that Canelo hadn't seen before. A traditional boxer is not going to beat Canelo. It's got to be somebody who can infight that will beat Canelo. Okay? You're not going to beat Canelo with some fucking jab. Okay? It's just not going to happen. His whole fucking career, he's been fighting and he knows how to avoid a jab. It doesn't matter if you throw it to his nuts or you throw it to his stomach or his chest or his head. It don't matter if you throw it to his shoulder. It don't matter. He knows how to get past the jab. Right? Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, now I remember. So, talking about this fight with DAZN, you know, people are not hype about this fight because they already know who the winner will be. All right? They know who the winner will be. And I'm trying to remember what 68 Sport was saying so I could fit it in. 68 Sports said something like, he thought, okay, 68 Sports thought that Canelo having the rehydration clause, you know, and having everything his way, you know, it shows why people don't like him, all right? But a lot of people didn't like Floyd either, and Floyd used to have things his way. And I think Canelo just picked off a page out of Floyd Mayweather's book. So if you hate on Canelo for this shit, then maybe you also hated on Floyd for this shit. If you didn't, then you ain't fucking, you not fucking consistent, right? Because you can't be praising Floyd for the same thing that Canelo be doing right now, okay? And Canelo doing it, you know, he's been doing it much more often, rehydration clauses and shit like that. You know, Floyd made guys wear different gloves, all kinds of shit Floyd did, right? To get an edge. And Canelo's doing the same thing. And in a way, if you look at it, 185 is not that bad. In the terms of, Kovalev was 185 in 2014. 2015, early 2015, he was walking in 185 pounds. But that baloney don't mean shit because I think he came in 189 against Hopkins. But that baloney don't mean shit because this is 2019, where he's not going to come in that way. Nonetheless, it is what it is. I just didn't like the fact that the rehydration clause was revealed only the day before the fight on the weigh-in. I thought that was bullshit. I thought they could have told everybody about this. Buddy McGirt needed to know this so he could prepare Sergey for the fight in that regard. And that's a little bit fucked up because every little inch matters in boxing. Kovalev needed every single inch he can get to have some sort of advantage because he is at a disadvantage all the way through this fight. And this is the point I wanted to make. A lot of people talk about weight, and Canelo's going up to this new weight class. And boxers like Cash Flow was saying, to a certain degree, weight don't mean shit. Height don't mean shit. All of that shit don't mean shit. Reggie's Progress said the same thing. Javante Davis, when he was talking about Josh Taylor, he was talking about how slow Josh Taylor was. See, a fighter's a fighter. And when you have certain attributes and skills, Canelo's going to be the quicker guy in there. He's going to be the fresher guy in there. He's not counting on his quickness and speed. He's counting on his boxing IQ. But the point is, he's going to be the quicker guy in there. Obviously, he's going to have to he's going to have to time Sergey Kovalev, which means he will have to slow himself down a bit. Even if he's way faster than Sergey Kovalev, he's going to have to slow himself down to match the speed and rhythm of Sergey Kovalev. But the point is that Canelo, he's going to be the quicker guy in there. He's going to be the sharper guy in there. Okay? And a lot of people think Kovalev's going to be sharp. He's not going to be fucking sharp, people. Let's be real here. When you are weight drained to some degree, the rehydration clause is going to drain him. It's going to affect him. Okay? It's just what it is. Fucking Danny Jacobs was affected. Fucking Rocky Fielding was very much affected. The bigger you get is the more this stuff affects you. So he's going to be affected by this shit. All right? So as a result of that, and people talking about Canelo putting on extra weight, he's not putting on any extra weight. He just didn't cut weight like he normally would for a fight at 160, which means for these motherfuckers out there that don't understand, it's the contrary. It's contrary. Like I was listening to what's his name? He'll come to me. I was listening to it almost gets on the tip of my mind. Anyway, the channel with the black dude who every time you look at him, he's seeing up his lip like this. He got a big lip like that. He's a nice dude, but anyway. It almost came to me. It'll come to me. All right. Anyway, the point is that he said that he thought Kovalev was a small, light heavyweight. When I heard that shit, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? He's a big, light heavyweight. The motherfucker comes in at cruiserweight when he's going to fight, okay? And guys like Peter Quillen, Danny Jacobs, okay? These guys are big. They were big fucking middleweights. That's why they moved up to super middleweight, okay? Kolo, when he's done with this fight, if he still wants to continue his career and he has 2 more fights on his resume and he's healthy, should go up to cruiserweight and just fight 2 cruiserweight fights and end his career, get paid, and that's it. That's what you need to do. But honestly speaking, Sergey Kovalev, man, I'm losing my train of thought a lot, and that's not good. But Sergey Kovalev, anyway, what I was going to say was the size doesn't matter. Like, there's a certain point at which Canelo can't go further. Like, he's talking about going up cruiserweight. He out of his fucking mind. Unless he finds some specific cruiserweight that can match him, like it's, tailor-made for him, he shouldn't go up to cruiserweight. He can't go to heavyweight, okay? Those 2 weight classes, Canelo's limit is 175. All right? He's not going to be a big 175, just like Dimitri Bivol is not a big 175. Just like Badou Jack, who's grown into 175 now, he's a big 175. But these guys are not big 175s, okay? So Canelo's cap is 175. He shouldn't try to push it past that to try and face, unless he sees somebody who's custom made for him, just like how, Roy Jones Jr. faced John Ruiz, okay? Something like that. Let me see what you guys are saying here. KP from KC says, what weight? KP from KC says, this is on main events, allowing the fighter to be beat at the negotiation table and not tell the trainer is ridiculous. I'm saying, dude, the trainer's the one that has to take care of him. So I find this is just crazy. I don't blame main events alone. I'm surprised that Buddy McGirt didn't know nothing about this, and Kovalev didn't tell him. Why didn't Kovalev tell him? Kovalev would have known. Why didn't he tell Buddy McGirt? I mean, did he tell Buddy McGirt? And Buddy McGirt's letting on that he didn't know. I mean, I don't know. The Boxing Junkie says, "What's up? What's up, but the Boxing Junkie? Good to see you, man." Munzakia the Great says the damage Kovalev took from recent fights accelerated his boxing age. It's not that. Like I keep on trying to explain to people, even if a boxer gets older, right, and they're not as, quick and sharp and physically in their prime, let's put it that way, they can still use their intelligence and their skill to move around. But when you are debilitated, when you are dehydrated, when you are compromised, okay, you're not 100% healthy because you're compromised, going to that boxing ring, not only could you get your ass beat pretty bad, but on top of that, you can get badly damaged. This is a dangerous sport, okay? And if Canelo drops Kovalev multiple times, as I think will happen in this fight, if he drops him multiple times, they need to know, because Kovalev is not going to stay down. He's not going to stay down, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So if you looked at Canelo versus Rocky Fielding was not, technically speaking, knocked out by Canelo, okay? Canelo didn't hit him with a shot, and Rocky Fielding was comatose, okay? Like how he did Amir Khan. He hit him to the body, Rocky Fielding went down. The shot was powerful enough and accurate enough to take down Rocky Fielding, but he got back up, right? And he continued to fight in the round, and Canelo put him down again. He got back up, and Canelo put him down again, and the referee stopped the fight. Fielding could have gotten back up, but the referee stopped it. All right? Which means I don't think that Canelo has the power to knock out, like flatline Kovalev. I don't think so. Okay? But he's got enough power and he's got enough accuracy in his shots to put him down multiple times. And when he starts to go gung-ho on Kovalev, when he really starts to unleash himself, the accumulation of punishment could lead to a Dadashev situation. That is what I'm worried about. Because it's never the guys with tremendous punching power who kill. Well, they do sometimes, but usually most deaths come from accumulation of punishment. From a fighter being defenseless and getting one punch too much. Adonis Stevenson got knocked out by Vorzdijk. Vorzdijk is not this great, powerful power puncher like people think. He puts his punches together very well. And Adonis got hit with one punch too many. Okay? He got hit with one punch too many. And his body was gone already. He was gone already. He was knocked out already. And then he got hit with another shot, which rocked his whole head. His head was no longer, and it rocked his whole head, and he went into coma. Okay? Patrick Day, he died from the impact his head hit the canvas with. He was out on his feet with that left hook that he got caught with. He got caught with the left. After the two overhand right hands, right? He was stunned with the two overhand right hands, but it was the left hook that really jarred his brain, knocked him out. But then he hit the canvas so hard, it jarred his brain again, causing hemorrhaging, and he internally started to hemorrhage. Okay? His eyes were rolled up in his head. He was dead. Normally, when a fighter gets knocked out like that, their hands go over their head. It falls back over their head. His hands froze in midair, like if he was in rigor mortis. And he was breathing and shit, but he was gone. He was brain dead already. It was like an explosion. Something popped in his head with the jarring. He was never going to come back. And he never gained consciousness because he was never going to come back. Okay? He instantaneously died on impact with the ground. Okay? Think of yourself as, take yourself and smash your head into a wall and then smash your head into another wall. That's what happened. Right? He got hit with a uppercut. With a left hook. That's like you get your head smashed into one wall and then you rebound and you smash your head into another wall. Or think of yourself as you're a pedestrian. You put your head out there and a truck's coming flying one direction and you get hit by that truck. Boom! You die instantaneously. It's the same thing that happened to him. Okay? So that's as Paulie Maldonado said, the way how his head hit the canvas, was nasty, and he didn't know if he would recover from that. And I think that's what killed him. With Kovalov, this shit could happen, and that's why I was always worried about this fight. I warned Kovalov about taking this fight about early this year. I was like, man, this is not a fight to take. This is a bad decision on Kovalov's part. And I said Canelo killed somebody in the ring, or kill somebody in the ring sparring already. He ain't got a problem killing you in that ring. He might like you, but you could easily end up dead in that ring. So the conditions are set for a tragedy. Okay, because this dude Kovalov's got a lot of heart. He's not gonna stop. Okay, and if Canelo is hitting him to the head, especially, and he's dropping him. First, he drops him probably, maybe he gets him with a body shot, whatever, and he hits him over the top of the head. And you've seen Kovalov get hit to the head multiple times. He got hit to the head by Anthony Yard. He got hit to the head by Andre Ward. He got hit to the head by Alida Alvarez. So those 3 fights in a row, this motherfucker been hit to the head, okay? And nasty shots to the head, okay? And it's set up by body punches, but nonetheless, he's got hit to the head. And I just think that this is just not a fight where you guys need to pay attention to the dude. Dude's a veteran of the sport. He's 37 years of age, or 37 or 36. I don't remember which one. He's taken in his last 4 fights. He's taken a lot of punishment in his last 4 fights. Okay, that 6 to 8 round where Anthony Yard went ham on him, and then we're talking about a real strong guy, Anthony Yard. He went ham on him. Definitely took a lot from Kovalov. Okay. And then on top of that, he had this grueling fight with Alida Alvarez just 2 fights before. And then he had that grueling fight with 2 grueling fights with Andre Ward. Where Ward had been rocking him to the head in the first fight as well, as to the body, and then the second fight. He's had grueling fight after grueling fight after grueling. He has had no stability fights. He has had no rocky feelings. He's had no Steve Rawls. All right? So his body's been put under strain fight after fight after fight. Okay, and now the turnaround is really rapid. He's going to be into this fight here, and he does not look physically good. All right, this is a recipe. He doesn't look like he's well conditioned for this fight. It looked like he rested a lot, but he had to rest him a lot. So this is not a good. This is not a good thing. Thankfully, it looks like he's not overtrained, so he might be a bit fresh. But the stresses that he's put on his body, this is the recipe for disaster. And Buddy needs to keep a close eye on Kovalov to make sure the data shift situation doesn't happen. They must be able to pull the towel, pull the plug on this guy quickly, okay? Because this man needs to enjoy his $14 million, or how much money he has, millions. Okay, this man needs to enjoy his millions. He worked hard for it, he earned it, and it's only fair that this man enjoys money, okay? Right now, I was thinking he would be highly motivated, he'd be going for this, trying to beat Canelo and all that. In the game, man, this fucking shit is really dependent really now on his health. If he's healthy enough to go in that fight and do something, for a bit, that's what matters, okay? And even my prediction about him looking good early on, I don't even know that shit going even fly now. I don't know. The way I feel, I'm very, very concerned about this situation. But anyway, the point I'm making is, hold on here. The boxing junkie said, "What up?" So Munzikia, I get what you're saying. I don't think it accelerated his boxing age. I think if he can get some rest, if he had some rest between this fight, if this fight was next year, he'd look really good, fresh, and everything. I just think that it's just too close. And I don't think it's his age so much as it's his health that bothers me. The boxing junkie says, Canelo has this. Yeah, we know that. I knew this from. I told people this is a shit fight from God knows when. But it's other people who saying, "Oh no, Kovalov has a chance," and I'm like, man, you guys are ignoring all the warning signs. Y'all are ignoring everything. The man just came off a very tough fight. Right? The man has always been suspect to the body. The man can't fight on the inside. The man only can fight on the outside. The man has continuously been knocked out of the 4 fights. 2 of those 4 fights he's been knocked out, and the third one of the 4 he's been hurt pretty bad. Actually, it wasn't 4 fights. Sorry, my bad. Okay, the second Andre Ward fight, the WBO title, that's 2. Alida Alvarez 1, Alida Alvarez 2, and then Anthony Yarde. So it's 5 fights. Okay, but 3 out of the 5 fights, this guy's been badly hurt. Okay, 3 out of the 5 fights, he's been wrecked. Okay, Andre Ward put on a beating on him. In fact, in the last 6 fights, he's been hurt 4 times. Four out of the 6 fights, he's been hurt. He's been in trouble. All right. I know he's not easy. It's not as easy as people say to put him away, but it's just like 4 out of the 6 fights, he's been in trouble, folks. Okay. Andrew Ward himself said the next couple of fights are going to be very difficult for him. Okay. And think about this. The first Andre Ward fight, after round 4, he was punished round after round after round. Okay. Andre Ward knew what the recipe was, and he stopped him in the second fight, punished him all the way through till the stoppage. Right. Then you look at faced Elida Alvarez. Elida Alvarez punished him and then hit him over the head, knocked him out. Right. Dropped him 3 times. I could see this fight being like that again, except much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Surgical. Canelo's going to be much more surgical than Elida Alvarez or Andre Ward. Okay. And Canelo's a smaller dude. Like I said, I don't expect Canelo to knock him out, with one shot or something like that. Canelo's not that kind of dude. But the accumulation of punishment is going to be intense. This shit going to be intense. It's going to make a Rocky Fielding fight look like a joke. Okay? So anyway, and Kovalev going to look slow as fuck. He's going to look slow. Okay? But anyway, so back to what I was saying. So out of the 6 fights, he's had very sapping fights, difficult fights in 4 of them. Okay? 2 of which he lost. All right? And 1 in which he damn near lost. Okay? So, I mean, it's not looking good for Kovalev. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay? So, because of that, DAZN is trying to promote a fight that's, for those of us who know, it's a mismatch fight. Yeah, Canelo looks like he's the smaller guy, and he probably is. But experience-wise, he got the experience advantage over Kovalev. Skill-wise, he got the skill advantage over Kovalev. Style-wise, he got the style advantage over Kovalev. And in weight-wise, in terms of who's going to come in there fresher, he got the advantage over Kovalev. Youth-wise, he's younger than Kovalev. He got the advantage over Kovalev. Speed-wise, he's faster than Kovalev. He's going to have the advantage over Kovalev. All of these things add up to, as much as people talking about this size shit, it adds up to a mismatch. This fight going to remind us a little bit of Floyd versus Arturo Gatti. It's going to remind us a little bit of Floyd versus Arturo Gatti. Okay? Buddy going to have to throw in the towel, or the ref going to have to stop this. Been saying it all along, and most people get it. Most people think that Canelo's going to win. A lot of boxers have been saying he's going to stop Kovalev, but they saying he's going to stop him late. After seeing this fucking weigh-in, this fight ain't, it's not getting past. It's not going past 6. It's not going past 6, folks. I don't think so. He don't look good at all. Weight-wise. He don't look good at all. He don't look healthy. So, I know that when boxers go into the ring, they have problems and stuff. But I'm talking about, like, he don't look in tip-top condition in terms of, his conditioning, how he looks, his body. He don't look good. He just don't look good. He don't look good. And those people covering up, oh, it's just a couple pounds. They covering that up because they want to make people think this is a credible fight. Okay? And that's why DAZN, that's why this fight ain't sold out. Because this is a fight where you can pick the winner easily. This fight's actually a mismatch. Even though Canelo's going up 2 weight classes, it's a mismatch fight. And people are going to say that after the fight. But I've been saying it all along. Now, the thing about it is, we're talking about Sergey Kovalev. Everybody thinks about the fact that he can box pretty well. That, he been fighting a smart fight because he got Buddy McGirt in his corner. He's got power in his punches. And he's been a dominant light heavyweight until Andre Ward. Okay? That was in the past, ladies and gentlemen. That was in the past when people didn't know his vulnerability. All right? Yeah, he outboxed Elida Alvarez. Yeah, he was able to stop Anthony Yarde. But Anthony Yarde would have succeeded in knocking him out if he didn't tee off on every shot. He didn't try to, put all the power behind every shot. If he had uh, kept his composure and just kept on breaking down Kovalev, he'd get him out of there in the ninth round. If Anthony Yarde could do that, and he's an inexperienced boxer, yeah, Canelo's smaller than him, no doubt about that. He's a smaller dude. You know, he won't have the kind of punching power that Anthony Yarde has, I think. I'm just assuming here. I don't know for a fact. But the thing about Canelo is he's going to be fresher. He's going to be stronger. He's going to be bigger than he's ever been. And you have to understand, a lot of people just don't understand that Canelo be sparring at that weight. Most fighters start losing the weight weeks in, like maybe 2-3 weeks in to the fight date. So maybe 2 weeks before the fight date, they'd be, you know, getting rid of the weight, you know, because a lot of the weight is water mass to make it on the scales. And then when they rehydrate back, Canelo's been rehydrating back on fight night 172, 171, 173 when he was at super welterweight. At middleweight, I'm guessing he rehydrates to 175. So probably for this fight, he rehydrate close to 180, 175, 180, what he typically rehydrates to. Maybe a little bit bigger. All right? So he'd be closer to his walk-around weight. Trust me. He always been fighting at that weight. So he's going to be in the best. He gonna have all the energy and strength. People talking about he gonna have the stamina in the later rounds. Motherfucker, he gonna have all the stamina in the world because he didn't have to weight drain. He didn't have to cut weight. So this works for Canelo 100%. Everybody got it ass backwards. You know what I'm saying? They got it ass back. Boxing Wave is the guy I was talking about. Boxing Wave said Kovalev's a small light heavyweight. That shit is not true. He's not a small light heavyweight, folks. All right? Not. Bernard Hopkins was a small light heavyweight. He come in 182. 180. Okay? Fucking Kovalev's not a small light heavyweight. There's a reason why they had a rehydration clause. This motherfucker right now probably comes into fights 192, 191, 193, even 195. For this fight, I don't know what he will come in. So we're talking about almost 10 pounds over the stipulated limit that Canelo imposed on him. That shit's going to hurt you. Even when you rehydrate back and you get some of the rehydration back, it consumes a lot of your energy. So he may be sluggish. Even though he trained so much and he looks sharp, fight night, it might be totally different. You know, the Boxing Junkie says, I fuck with all styles of fighting, but fighters are really good defensively. I fuck with all styles of fighting, but fighters that are really good defensively. I hear you, man. Canelo, you know Canelo's very good defensively. It's just what it is. Munsakia the Great says, we could stop a lot of deaths in boxing doing one thing. Having hydration tests right before the weigh-in. If a fighter is too dehydrated coming into the weigh-in, they can't fight. Simple. That's one of the things. But the other thing is PEDs in boxing. You know, and again, 68 kind of addressed it, while a lot of people call Canelo, right? Because of the clenbuterol incident, and I'm not going to defend him on that. You know, he hasn't been caught using PEDs since then, and VADA tests them year round, and Canelo's the face of the WBC. Now, before Canelo was caught with clenbuterol, A and B samples clenbuterol, he was also seen as the face of clean boxing. All right? And a lot of people feel that he took steroids to face Triple G the first fight because of just how his physique was and stuff like that. And I'm not going to defend that shit. I can't tell you if it's a yes or no. I'm not even going to go there, okay? What I can tell you, though, is he hasn't been caught since then. VADA has not seen him having any negative samples. And they've been randomly coming up and showing up on his doorstep, so he has to take tests all the time. So that's what I can say. I'm not going to even try to put my mouth in that because, like a lot of people said, that meats, you know, tainted meat shit that they talking about, I can't even buy it myself. I really can't. You know, your A and B samples got caught negative, and clenbuterol comes out of your system so fast. I don't know about that, man. I really don't know about that. So, you know, the thing about it is, in the second fight, he was walking down Triple G, and he was supposedly clean. So, in the first fight, he was boxing off the back foot. So, I mean, if they're saying he cheated for the first fight, or he cheated for the second, coming into the second fight, and they suspended his ass for 6 months, and then they finally had the second fight, and he was still walking Triple G down, I don't know what to make of that. You know, I'm never going to vouch for a fighter, especially if they've been caught using drugs. It's too dangerous a sport for me to even vouch for them. I don't care. Canelo might be my favorite boxer in the world, but there's some shit I'm just not going to defend. And then one of these things is, not letting, well, at least we, as far as we're concerned, not letting, or I guess having some sort of non-disclosure where Kovalev couldn't even tell his trainer that he needed to rehydrate, and there was a rehydration clause. But I don't know if that's the case. Maybe Buddy knows about that and just didn't want to say. But that's still some crazy ass shit right there. If you ask me, that shit can kill somebody. Somebody can die in the ring because of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I take that very seriously. But like I said, DAZN is pushing the wrong fight. This is my point. My point is, the reason why there's not enough buzz on this fight is because everybody thinks that Canelo's going to beat Kovalev anyway. Okay? And most people think he's going to stop him, which is what is going to happen anyway. But, I think that if they had the Demetrius Andrade fight, I think DAZN would have a lot more subscribers, one. Two, there'd be a lot more buzz because Demetrius Andrade is an undefeated fucking fighter, one. Okay? Two, he's a world champion. He's the WBO world champion. And three, he's young like Canelo is. He's fresh like Canelo is. He's an all-around boxer like Canelo is. Man, that fight would have been lit because a lot of people had anticipated like, well, we don't really know. This is a 50-50 fight. They actually go in thinking it's a 50. Instead of manufacturing, this is a 50-50 fight. We don't know if Kovalev. Man, the motherfucker is soft to the body. What the fuck you talking about? He been stopped twice. Okay? Almost stopped in his last fight. What the fuck people talking about? Oh, he's jumping up 2 weight class. What does that mean? That shit don't mean shit. Canelo and they was waiting on this fight. They, instead of taking the Demetrius Andrade fight, they wait on Kovalev. Why do you think they was waiting on Kovalev with bated breath? Why do you think they doing that? Oh, Canelo's underestimated. Man, motherfucker, man, these guys don't underestimate. They don't play those kinds of fucking games. All right? They don't play those games. So no. They damn sure know they can beat Kovalev. And they know they can stop him, too. Munzakia the Great says, tainted meat or not, he was still getting the benefits of clenbuterol regardless. That is why he could never be number one to me. I hear you, man. I hear you. Again, I feel you guys on what you're saying. For me, he's still number one pound for pound. It's just what it is. In my opinion, I still hold to my opinion on this, that Canelo is pound for pound number one in the world, and his skills are incredible. Okay, he has very good skills. I consider him a bigger, larger Floyd Mayweather, who is more limited. He can fight on the outside, but he doesn't do it a lot. He's a lot more engaging, throws a lot more combinations. But I think he's like a Mexican version of Floyd. That's how I look at him. And he's doing everything that Floyd did. He's not going to be able to do as many weight classes as Floyd. Maybe you get the opportunity to do a fifth weight class. Just dip in there and dip out. He may do a cruiserweight something. You never know. Depends on how hot the cruiserweight division is. He might even do a heavyweight. You never know with Canelo, with the right opponent. But definitely Sergey Kovalev is the right opponent for Canelo. Okay? He's a perfect opponent for Canelo. People talking about him facing Artur Beterbiev and Bivol. Listen, man. Canelo ain't... He might face them later on, but he ain't facing them right now. I don't think he's staying at 175, and he definitely ain't going to face Artur Beterbiev. He ain't facing Artur Beterbiev next. Fuck no. And I'm going to tell you why. The motherfucker is strong. Okay? This is not Kovalev. This is Beterbiev. There's a totally different... Now, if Canelo was going up against Beterbiev, jumps up from middleweight and goes up to face Beterbiev, now that would have been a hell of a fight. Because he would have to use his defense all the time. And Beterbiev is a mid-range, outside mid-range, dips in and out inside fighter, rough you up on the inside. Man, he would have roughed the fuck up of Canelo on the inside. I'm telling you, man, he would have made Canelo look like a little boy. He's beast. Beterbiev is strong. That's a strong motherfucker. That would have been a good ass fight though, because he's slow. So Canelo would be able to, outbox him, outmove him. On the inside, he would get the better footwork, so he could step around him, do those inside pivots and land some shots. He really would tee off on Beterbiev because, But with respect to, he might beat him, but he ain't gonna knock him out. He ain't stopping. He ain't stopping BWF. He ain't dropping BWF. We know this shit already. BWF be bringing the heat. That would have been a good ass fight though. All right, BWF is slow though. That's the only downside to him. But he's solid when it comes to boxing skills. He's strong. He can take a punch. So that would have been a good ass fight. Now, if you ask me, what's the fight that really suits Canelo and it's a good fight? It's a good fight for Canelo because Dimitri Bivol. That's a good fight for Canelo, or Vordic. Vordic or Bivol are good fights for Canelo. Bivol's not a big light heavyweight. That would be a good fight for Canelo, But BWF, Canelo would have to figure out a way to get around his strength. He's very, very strong, Now, as Teddy Atlas said, Kovalev is not strong, okay? He's not physically strong. He's not a very physically strong light heavyweight. I think Canelo might be even stronger than him. But when it comes to power, he's a very powerful light heavyweight, He's a finesse light heavyweight, because he fights from the outside, Munsakia the Great says, BWF be hurting people with glancing blows. Reminds me of Rocky Marciano. Oh, this motherfucker much stronger than Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano got dropped by shots. This motherfucker, he's solid. He don't get put down, nothing. And you just look at BWF, his bone density, his mass, his strength, his muscle mass. Motherfucker looks strong as an ox. he looked like he could go fight cruiserweight, whether he is cruiserweight or not. He looked like he could go fight cruiserweight. You know what? Fucking BWF could go fight heavyweight. He that strong. He would rough up a number of heavyweights in the heavyweight division. He's beast. You can see that brother is beast strong. He's really strong, physically strong. That motherfucker could go up there. Well, actually, he was a heavyweight. Now that I think about it, he and Usyk fought at heavyweight. So BWF is actually a really big dude that came down in weight like Sean Porter did. So that's why he's so strong and he can take punches. He actually came down from heavyweight. He used to be a heavyweight in the amateurs. So that kind of pretty much tells you what it is with BWF. He's a really strong motherfucker. Okay, he really strong. And he's calculated. So he has a game plan. He might be slow and all of that shit, but he got a game plan, and he works his game plan. And he can box too. So but that would be a good fight for Canelo. The thing would be Canelo's speed. His speed is going to be the advantage. Turning BWF all the time, and keeping him a step behind you all the time. That's the only way. But Munsakia says BWF has been put down twice. Oh really? Somebody put down BWF? What the fuck? Okay, didn't know that one. But he's a bad boy though. BWF is a bad boy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But yeah, the reason why this fight there's not as much buzz behind this fight is because I think most people believe that Canelo is going to, because of Kovalev's previous fights where he didn't look all that great. Because of his previous fights, the Yard fight, particularly the Eliezer Alvarez and the Andre Ward fight. I know Eliezer Alvarez and Anthony Yard are bigger dudes. They're big, powerful, light heavyweights, light heavyweights. I understand that. I know Canelo's smaller than them, but like I said before, Canelo's got that placement, really good placement, really good boxing IQ. I think the accumulation of punishment is going to lead to multiple. Canelo having Sergey Kovalev multiple times hurt, and he's probably going to put him down multiple times as well, at least twice before the stoppage. So, or 3 times, as might be the case. But he's going to put him down. He's going to beat him up. He's going to hurt. He's going to hurt him pretty bad. Munsakia the Great says BWF ain't losing to nobody for the next 2 years. I hear you, man. I mean, he's a force to reckon when it comes to strength, but you can't always nullify strength. The thing with, like I try to explain to you guys, about Canelo. I'm not saying he's gonna face BWF next. That shit, I don't think so. Okay, I think he's gonna probably go down in weight, either 168 or 160. But what I would say is, or he may face Bivol. Who knows? He might face Bivol next. Who knows? But what I do know is because Bivol with DAZN, so that fight is easy to make. Bitter BF's with Top Rank. So he may face Dimitri Bivol, and that's a fucking 50-50 fight, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know a 50-50 fight? Bivol versus Canelo is a 50-50 fight. Okay, young, strong, young champion, WBA champion. He got Badou Jack's title, though. He should be facing Badou Jack. That's who Bivol should be facing. But anyway, hold on a second. I got to go use the bathroom again. Yeah, I'm back. So yeah, that would be a good match. Now let me just say this. I'm gonna put a caveat in there. Boxing is an unpredictable thing, and sometimes, cherry picks go horribly wrong. And this is the year of upsets. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if, after all is said and done, Kovalev just comes in and knocks out Canelo. Because this is the weird thing, the glorious thing about boxing. But I'm just saying he got a puncher's chance, even though he's a good boxer and all of that, and he got, nice little jabbing thing. I think he's a puncher's chance, if anything. Canelo got to get reckless and get caught. Okay? Maybe going in for the kill and gets caught and gets knocked the fuck out. So this has been a year of upsets, so you never know, And in spite of all the things that work against Kovalev, you just never know, okay? But I think that Bivol is a good fight for Canelo. I think Bivol is a little bit, there's things about Bivol's game though. I wish I don't know how things will turn out, but Munzakir the Great says, I'm looking forward to Inoue versus Donaire fight more, to be honest. I got you, man. Yeah. That's gonna happen this Wednesday or this Tuesday. That's a good fight though. It's a good fight. I think that I got Donaire. I'm backing Donaire for the win. I want the old guy to pull it off and to beat the younger guy. Yeah, this Thursday, right? Right, there you go. I knew it was sometime during the week. I hope that Donaire pulls it off. I'm rooting for the older guy. He's already proved people wrong. Shocking people with expectations. I know that Inoue is the favorite to win, and that makes sense. He's the younger, stronger guy. I just think that Donaire, I think the setup and the power that Inoue has, Donaire's felt already. He's been there. He's dealt with bigger guys. He's not at his ideal fighting weight, which is bantamweight. And I think the question will be, can Inoue handle Donaire's power? Can Inoue handle Donaire's boxing IQ? I just think that, a lot of people are underestimating that, and Donaire has a very good all-around game. He's got crack of hand, he's got good punching power, and he's training his ass off for this fight. So I'm not counting out Donaire at all. I think I'm favoring him to win because I'm rooting for him, the older guy, in this respect. If Kovalev had inside game, I'd root for Kovalev to win, but he ain't got no fucking inside game, and he's vulnerable to the inside, and his defense is not that great, and the advice Buddy McGirt's giving him sounds good, but when you think about it a little bit, you give it some more thought, you realize some of that advice is going to be to his detriment. He's going to get knocked out. But he's not telling him to counter Canelo. He's telling him to punch with Canelo. That shit gonna get him knocked out. Okay? You can't be trying to punch with a fighter. You need to have your defense. You know, he's talking about mirroring Canelo. That shit gonna get you knocked out. Okay, Canelo's not that. I think Buddy's trying to do the same strategy he did with Pernell Whitaker, but this ain't Pernell Whitaker he's facing. This is more like a Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather had a Whitaker depended on his jab. Floyd don't depend on his jab. And like I said before, people don't understand. People don't understand boxing. They don't understand what every new generation brings to the table. If you ask me who's the better boxer, Whitaker or Floyd, Buddy McGregor's gonna learn Floyd's the better boxer. And tonight he gonna learn firsthand that a jab don't mean shit in a fight where that's all you depend on. That's your major weapon. Okay? You come with the uppercut off the jab or you counter off of that shit don't. You have to have in boxing you have to understand. You have to understand what the purpose of everything is. Okay? Yes, they teach you the jab is the best weapon in boxing. In many respects it is. But if you are just dependent on a fucking jab, okay? And this is what Cash Flow was saying. He said, I don't just depend on my jab. And the other thing that Cash Flow said, which you will see with Canelo as well, is every time Canelo comes into a fight, he does something a little bit different to what he was doing before. People say Canelo's growing. But the trick is, Canelo got a lot of dimension to his game, and he's sharpening up each of his skill sets. So Canelo always had this stuff since the get-go, since the first day. But he's been refining them and developing them. So anything that Kovalev brings to the table, Canelo gonna already have an answer for that shit, and will shut it down. He gonna neutralize fucking Kovalev's jab. He gonna neutralize the fucking jab. Okay, he gonna neutralize that early. Okay, Kovalev is gonna be throwing jabs and hitting fucking air. All right, he's going to neutralize the jab. But like I was saying, with Floyd Mayweather doesn't have to throw a fucking jab. Neither does Canelo. They don't depend on the jab. They're like, he should jab more. No, they don't need that. In fact, they can fight a whole fight without a jab if they need to. Okay, they have so many tools in their tool bag that they do. Canelo, he got the lead right. Canelo, he got the feinting. Canelo, he got that defense. Canelo, he got that footwork. Canelo, he got those angles. So he don't need a jab to come in on the inside. Okay? I just mentioned 4 things. System of feints, footwork, defense. Okay? All right? What's the 4th one? I can't remember. What did I say? Oh, lead punches, meaning the lead right. Okay? You can use the lead right like a jab. All right, so and then let's not forget, fucking Canelo and Floyd, they don't ever throw a jab the same way. They don't throw their jab predictably. You can't get on to that fucking rhythm. I forgot that part. Rhythm and timing. To get a rhythm and timing on Canelo and Floyd is going to be hard. Okay, so that's 6 things, and it's so you gotta understand what Kovalev's going in the ring with. Okay, Kovalev does vary his jab a little bit, and just one of the things that Kovalev do with his jab that I do not recommend is sometimes he starts his jab off from way away from his guard, so he's not protecting his chin. His jabbing hand is away from him, and he keeps it trying to keep the hand in your face. Not against Canelo. Like I said, he got holes in his defense. He don't bring his hands back in time. He just don't bring his hands back in time. That shit, Rocky Fielding was the same. That shit gonna get you carved up, man. You're gonna get carved up like a turkey. Okay? So I'm just saying, I'm breaking it down for some people because like they don't understand. When I'm talking about shit, I'm talking from a boxing perspective. I ain't talking from who's favored or who. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Right? I'm talking from a boxing perspective, and just the things that Canelo does in that fucking ring. I mean, and Cash Flow was just talking about that. He'll come out, they can't read him because he keeps on coming out with different styles. Cash Flow will come out with a different style. Floyd was the same thing. Floyd, you think, oh, he gonna fight off the back foot. Conor McGregor thought Floyd was gonna fight off the back foot. He came walking his ass down. He walked his ass down for 10 rounds, right? Canelo, sometimes, you saw him with Golovkin. The first time he boxed Golovkin on the outside, still came to the inside, did body work, but he worked him on the inside, coming off of angles, He comes off of angles, comes to the inside, lands. Sometimes Golovkin will land a counter punch, but usually Canelo's guard would be up because he keep his defense tight, you know. But for the most part, you ain't catching Canelo with 2 punches in a row. You're not doing that, right? He not as clean defensively as Floyd. He a bigger dude. He throw with harder punches. He turn over his punches more because Floyd had brittle hands. Canelo don't got brittle hands, right? So he can do more, and he's a little bit more aggressive. Floyd would have been a much more aggressive fighter if his hands wasn't so brittle, right? So Canelo is like a lot more aggressive, bigger Floyd. Um, he don't move as much as Floyd, okay? But he does have quick feet. People say Canelo don't have quick feet. He has quick feet, but he don't like to move around plenty. He's very economical with his footwork, okay? And just like Floyd, he can stand right in front of your ass. You could throw a barrage of punches, and you're not hitting him with one. You're not hitting Canelo with one, okay? And the difference between Canelo and Floyd is Canelo also got waist movement. He could turn his entire fucking body away from you and completely roll the punch. Floyd would torque his body using the shoulder roll defense, but Canelo could torque his body either way, and he moves coming forward to you, giving you the blade. He give you the blade one way, then he give you the blade another way. You understand? He'll literally pivot. He'd be like a revolving door. He pivots on you as he's coming forward. He can turn his hips that way. So it's a Mexican kind of way, but it's kind of James Toney-ish kind of way. And that shit is why guys can't get a beat on him. They can't get the rhythm of him. Because 1 minute he's walking to you, next minute he's standing in front of you, but he looks like he's walking to you because he's turning his upper body. And that fucking deception, I could talk about this 100 million times. It's always going to get fighters every single time. It's a deception. He walk to you, and he's moving his upper body, but really he's standing in one spot. But you thinking that he's still walking to you, so it's such a fucking deception. It's not. I mean, Canelo got so much tricks up his sleeve, okay? And every fight he don't even use it. He didn't use the turning his hips movement when he was coming against Danny Jacobs. He was actually using what we call he's coming in off an angle, a wide angle, okay? Walking you down, but at the same time he's using feints, and it looked like he's stepping in, but really on the same spot. He do as if he's stepping in. He feints you. Then he feints as if he's gonna step in. I'm gonna show you all something. There's a lot to Canelo, and I can't break him down right here but now, but I'm gonna show you guys something because I gotta have to demonstrate this shit. That's the best way to show it. So y'all ain't gonna see my feet though. Let me show you guys something. So, I'm going to stay orthodox, right? I'm going to come here, right? So I'm stepping in, right? I'm changing levels. I'm stepping in. But I'm feinting. I'm feinting, but I'm stepping in. Now, I don't know if you guys realize that I'm actually stepping in on you. I'm swiveling, changing levels, because I might want to do this. I might want to pop the jab up here. You guys can't really see it, can you? I'm going to do it from the side. Okay? Because I can throw my lead right from low to high. And if you guys could see, I'm swiveling, but I'm dipping in at the same time. Okay? So I'm swiveling my upper body, but I'm also dipping in. And you can't see what my back foot looks like and my front foot, but if you could, you'd see that. Hold on. I think you can see it from here, okay? You see my feet, right? So here I am. See? And I slide in. And I'm sliding in. And I can throw my lead right here. So I can come from here and throw my lead right on you. Okay? Okay, so not only am I swiveling, but I'm swiveling from low to high. Low to high. I'm swiveling in on you. That way my head and my body is constantly changing levels. So if you throw a shot at me, not only can I protect myself, but if I need to, I can counter you. And I can inch in on you if I want to. Okay? So Canelo knows how to do some of that stuff. And what I'm trying to say is, he's not using a jab. He ain't even stepping. He steps when he wants to step, right? Now, add to that the waist movement. Add to that the waist movement. All right? All right? Add to that waist movement. As he's coming forward, I'm not doing it properly, so you have to excuse me. He turns everything. Right? And I'm coming off an angle, coming in at you, because I'm coming off an angle. It might not look that way, but I started off at one point here, and I ended up all the way here. But I'm inching in on you. And sometimes I do as if I'm going to inch in, and I really fainted, and I didn't really step. So it's hard for me to give you all the details about these fighters. Andy Ruiz does some of that. But suffice it to say that, you know, these fighters, they have all these little tricks, these little virtual things. And guys like Kovalov will be throwing their fucking jab when the dude ain't even step in. Canelo hasn't stepped into range. Another thing Canelo does is he dips his head into range and he dips it back out. So he'll stay just outside of the range of Sergey Kovalov. All right? Kovalov be popping that jab. You know Kovalov like to pop the jab. So Kovalov be doing something like this. So Kovalov is super busy with his jab. You like to do like this? Do as if you're going to throw the right, show the right, throw the left, right? So Kovalov be popping his jab. But look at this. When my jab in hand is out here, the only thing I got to protect my shin is my shoulder. If I keep I stiff arm you like this, I got my shoulder to protect my head, right? But I can't bring my hand back to protect my head. I could sometimes stick that jab out there and parry down the shot. But what happens if the guy comes over the top with a nice looping shot, like Canelo would do? Right? Like I said before, if Canelo's doing this, alright, Kovalov's got the jab coming here. So he's coming whoop, over the shoulder, because what? Because what? Look at my defense. Right? And if I'm like this, okay, inbuilt defense. Because which way am I going? I'm not going here. I'm going this way, right? So if he comes here, I just do like this, right? I'm swiveling all the time. So when he comes with a jab, right, I catch him over the top. Oh, now he could come with the right hand, all right? Like Andrew Ward was out of position. So he tried to counter here, and he got caught with the right? But what we're supposed to do, right, that. So that if the right hand come, you know, and you're supposed to time it too. So you swivel down, and after you come this way, because all my weight's on here to come this way, right? Or you're swiveling this way, and you come here, under and up. So that if you're going under and up like this, you're rolling back this way. So if the right hand comes, you roll it. Got it? And you can step in on that at the same time. So you go past the right hand. So you can step in on it. But anyway, the point is, and the guy you can watch for untelegraphed right hands was master that is Nato. Check out that dude. Was a super, what was he, a super featherweight? Faced Roberto Duran as well. Good fighter. Beautiful to watch. But my point anyway is that when you have all these tools in your tool bag, offensively and defensively, you could totally negate the jab of another guy, and you don't even have to throw a fucking jab. Monsakia the Great says, Floyd versus Purnell at 135 is a 50-50 above lightweight. I favor Floyd 10 times out of 10. I mean, like I said before, Floyd, I just showed you guys what Floyd do. Pernell Whitaker was a little bit different. He's southpaw. And Whitaker, so I'm a southpaw. Whitaker would pop his jab, but he's turning all the time. You know, he's doing this. Crossing. He's crossing over his feet. So Whitaker will be there, you know, and then he just step around. I can't show you guys. I want to show you guys. Let me see if I can show you. So, Pernell Whitaker, I'm going to try to do it a little bit. He would step around like this. Right? I'm doing that. He could do tight pivots. Right? And sometimes he would do something like this. Okay? So he's always jabbing on a circle. He's always keeping you around in a circle. Then he would step around. See? It's called a cross foot. He'd cross his feet here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So he'd be stepping around like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. So he'd cross here. And that's his advantage. So he's always jabbing you on the inside. He's catching you with the jab on the inside. All right? And when he wants to, he can sit and plant. Ha! 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 Right? Sit and plant, and then he keep on carrying you around in a circle. But his jab was important to him. He needed to use the jab. So you have you going in a circle around and around. You chasing them down. You always chasing them in a circle. And that's why a lot of boxers, they just couldn't get him because they be throwing their lead rights or their lefts, and he just be missing because he's going in a circle. He didn't really roll punches. That wasn't his thing. His thing was getting out of the way of punches. It looked spectacular. So you had to cut off Whitaker, which would mean you had to be aggressive and you had to sidestep him. But he always knew how to get dominant position on the inside as well. He knew how to line up his shoulders on the inside to get dominant position. So he always a step ahead of you. He always in the lead foot position if you're an orthodox fighter. Jessica says so true. Shout out to Jessica. How you doing? Jessica Gemeno. Monsakia the Great says Kovalev does have one of the best jabs in the game, though. It ain't gonna help though. If it didn't even if his jab, it was good, but a lot of that jab Anthony Yard was blocking. He blocked a lot of Kovalev jabs. Kovalev jabs to Anthony Yard's body wasn't even clean. I mean, Anthony Yard still getting hurt by the jab, but it wasn't even clean. And if Anthony Yard could handle the jab, well, Canelo definitely will. Floyd and Canelo have the best, quickest timing, accurate punches. Yeah, it's almost like they could predict what you're going to do next. And the reason is because of their trap setting. It's not that they could predict what you do next, but the conditions they give you, because they're always dictating. So the conditions that they give you, like, okay. So early in the fight, what you're going to see from Canelo is every time Kovalev tried to do something, Canelo's going to limit Kovalev's options. Yeah, Canelo going to limit. He's going to dictate from the opening bell. Canelo's waist movement is a beauty. Rarely do you see that anymore in boxing. It's very hard. You hardly see that in boxing, to be honest with you. There are only special ones like James Toney. Floyd didn't do it. Whitaker didn't do it. And the thing about Canelo is he don't even have to move his feet to roll punches with his waist. So that's exceptional. He also rolls punches with his head. So a lot of people talking about Canelo will have difficulty with Kovalov's power. That being such a big light heavyweight compared to him. But again, that's not going to be an issue because he was sparring cruiserweights, so he got used to the power already. And we saw his preparation for Triple G, how he was used to the power as well. So again, I mean, people are just... There's a different era of boxing to start with. And guys are going to break records like crazy. Canelo's going to be the first. He may supersede what Floyd has done in his career. Because he's not... I think he's probably a little bit halfway past his career right now. But Canelo got a lot of fights left. And remember, this kid is only 29. And then you got all these other younger fighters who are becoming world champions much sooner than before. Both men and women fighters now are becoming world champions within we're talking about within 14 fights, within 7 fights. These motherfuckers are becoming champions. So the shit is getting even crazier. The only thing is, I'm not going to recognize championship belts, which unfortunately I can't really acknowledge Jamal Charlo's belt or my boss friend Devin Haney. I love Devin Haney, but I can't acknowledge his WC belt. Even though he wanted to face Lomachenko, and even though Charlo wanted to face Canelo, I can't acknowledge them as belts. But if they go and unify some other belt, I can acknowledge that. And I know it sounds sad, but because why I say that is because unlike Shakur Stevenson, whose belt we gotta acknowledge, Oscar Valdez vacating his belt and moving up in weight so he wouldn't face Shakur Stevenson. With the case of Canelo and Charlo, Canelo's there. He's in the 160-pound division, and fucking WBC gave him a franchise champion belt. So he fucks over Jamal Charlo, who took the WBC belt. But I mean, unless he faces like a Demetrius Andrew, who is a true belt holder and wins the WBO belt, we can't really say he's really a full-fledged champion. He's a paper champion. It's so sad to say. I don't like to say it, but because those guys are my favorite fighters as well. Well, particularly Devin Haney. But his first belt is not a legitimate belt, in my opinion, and sad to say. But if he defends it with some legitimate names, he'll have some names, so the belt could draw names. That's what it could do. But Lomachenko's still the WBC champion, in my opinion, and Canelo. And it's fucked up because the WBC don't want them to face their mandatories, which is it's just fucked up. I mean, even if you don't face them immediately, you should face them. I don't know if Lomachenko will do that. We'll have to wait and see if he will... try to face Devin Haney before Devin Haney moves up to super lightweight. I'm even hearing Gervonta Davis talking about super lightweight. And I listened to Gervonta Davis. He was talking also about a possible clash with Lomachenko. I was here talk from, I think it was Adrian Broner was saying that Gervonta wanted to face Lomachenko 3 years ago when he faced Jason Sosa and beat him. So I've looked at Gervonta Davis in the amateurs. I'm telling you guys, just go type in Gervonta Tank Davis amateur fights. Of course, he fought Erickson Lubin. For those of you who don't know, he fought Erickson Lubin and beat him. There was another kid that beat Gervonta Davis, but he was robbed. They robbed him a point because he was physically knocking the guy down, pushing like forearming the kid down. And anyway, the other guy wanted to fight, even though Gervonta Davis was beating the shit out of him. And the other kid was bigger than him and was trying to bully him as well. And Gervonta Davis just would not have it. Now, a lot of people say that Josh Taylor would bully Gervonta Davis. Let me just say this. I'm going to categorically say this. Gervonta Davis will never be bullied. If y'all haven't watched, Gervonta Davis is as big as Adrian Broner. Okay? That motherfucker is big. That motherfucker can make it all the way up to welterweight. Okay? Josh Taylor. Gervonta Davis, first of all, is not Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis is a hell of a fighter. Regis Prograis is not as fast as Gervonta Davis. Regis Prograis got heavy hands. Gervonta Davis is much faster, much quicker, much more skilled. He would, listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Y'all talking about cloud chasing and shit. I look at Gervonta Davis, he's a big motherfucker, okay? I told y'all he walk around probably 165, 150 something. He's a big motherfucker. So is Adrian Broner, okay? And those motherfuckers... I wouldn't be surprised if Gervonta Davis at some point could go up to 154 and face Erickson Lubin, for real, the rematch. He's a big motherfucker. He gets down to super featherweight, and he got down to lightweight, but he's a big motherfucker. And I will agree, Josh Taylor's a big motherfucker too. But skill wise, speed wise, he don't touch Gervonta Davis. So I can see Gervonta Davis' argument for why he thinks he could stop him. Now, honestly, I seen Josh Taylor take some hellacious shots by Reggie's program, and he got hurt, but he went for a walk. Now against Gervonta, if he tried to do that shit, Gervonta is so fast he would catch up with him. And I mean, I've seen Gervonta Davis in the amateurs, and that boy was a beast. I'm telling you, he's fighting guys much bigger than him, much taller than him, and just, I mean, he just ripping into motherfuckers. And even if they're stronger than him, he's still ripping into motherfuckers and staggering them with shots. Okay, he's staggering them. So Gervonta Davis versus Josh Taylor is a good fight. I would love to see that. It's not just clout chasing. I think Gervonta Davis want to fight whoever, whenever. I think it's Mayweather Promotions holding him back, kind of like how Oscar De La Hoya tried to hold back Canelo, and they be doing all these whack ass shit. Like people talking about how he should be grateful to Oscar and the scorecards and the judging. Look, man, motherfucker, listen, motherfucker. Okay, them judges, first of all, if Oscar's behind that shit, which I think Oscar's the one that's caused all this controversy with Canelo. All right, Oscar's the one that's why Canelo need to get free of Oscar in the end of the day. But we will talk about that some other time. Oscar be doing some whack ass shit. It's Oscar that fucked up Canelo so he couldn't face Demetrius Andrade. Canelo wanted to face, I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo wanted to face Demetrius Andrade, and Oscar decided, fuck you, you're gonna fight a third Triple G fight, and fucked him up so that they had to look at another fight like a Sergey Kovalev with DAZN. Alright? I think Oscar been fucking over Canelo for the longest while. Canelo probably would have done a lot. And then from what I heard, Canelo wanted to make sure he dealt with his mandatories. He wanted to I don't know if he wanted to face Demetrius Andrade though. The shit that he been saying, I don't know if he wanted, but I do know he wanted to save the IBF belt. I do know he wanted to face Triple G at a catch weight the first time. I do know that Canelo does not want to face Triple G a second time. A lot of people are saying, he should answer the questions from the fans. And man, the motherfucker, first of all, outboxed him the first fight. And he walked his ass down the second fight. Why the fuck did he need to face Triple G again? They're like he's afraid of Triple G. Get the fuck out of here. Triple G who just get his ass dusted by Derevyanchenko. All right? Triple G who Oscar De La Hoya gave the IBF belt to. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Like, every time I hear about Triple G, it makes me so mad. Because of fucking Triple G, who hasn't done shit, okay? He hasn't gone one weight class that Abel Sanchez be saying. He been a fraud. He's a fraud. He's a fucking liar. So please don't talk about Triple G. If y'all want to talk about Aristotle Lara, that's a different story. I thought Canelo won that fight, but I don't know what the fuck that judge was seeing. The judge who scored it so wide. And then let's not talk about the Austin Trout scorecards that we got with the open scoring. It was atrocious, okay? It wasn't that wide, okay? And so that's the shit which, that's why people don't like Canelo, because they think he gets favor all the time, which he does. And it's because of fucking Oscar De La Hoya, okay? And Oscar De La Hoya, if you know his career, there was a lot of controversial things, like the fight with Pernell Whitaker, where I thought Pernell Whitaker won. Okay? So, I mean, Oscar De La Hoya has been fucking over Canelo for the longest while, fucking with the judges, fucking with different things. And the sooner Canelo can get free of him, I think it's the more fair and clear things will be for him. Whether he loses the fight, he loses clearly. If he wins the fight, he wins clearly. He won't be having these fucking controversies because of fucking ass Oscar De La Hoya. That's just the way I feel about it. Okay? And Oscar be smoking crack and doing all kinds of controversial shit in the background. So it's like, Canelo don't need that shit. If they're gonna hate him straight. Even the clenbuterol issue that happened with Canelo, it's just fucked up, man. And he seemed to be getting favor all the time. I mean, Jarrell Miller, he doing okay too. But I'm just saying, he getting favor, and it's because of fucking Oscar De La Hoya. Okay? I think if it was up to Canelo would have taken the Demetrius Andrade fight, which would have done better than this fucking fight in terms of viewership and shit. Why would you watch a fight where it's going to be one-sided? Oh, they trying to hype it up. Oh, he's going to go up 2 weight classes. First of all, he's not going up 2 weight classes. He's going up 1. Okay? He last fought at 168. He was comfortable at 168 and knocked out the guy. Okay? So, stop with the bullshit. Okay? We all know this fight's going to go the same way like how it went with Rocky Fielding. It's a Rocky Fielding-esque fight. It's just that it is a bigger name. Okay? So stop with the bullshit. That people can see through your bullshit, and that's why a lot of people don't have as much buzz for this fucking fight. And those people think, oh, Kovalov's going to win. He's going to knock out Canelo. Man, get the fuck out of here. Y'all don't know shit about boxing. Okay? Even what's his name? Andre Rozier talking about, oh, it's two weight classes, and Kovalov's going and his jab. And listen, man, Mr. Rozier, you know boxing better than that. You know boxing way better than that. You know Canelo gonna be prepared for the weight. He's always been prepared for the weight. You saw he was prepared for Triple G. You know he's gonna be prepared for the weight, and he's gonna knock Kovalov's ass out. All right? Oh, Canelo's never knocked out nobody, and get the fuck out of here. The man is soft to the body. Okay? He's had 4 fucking grueling fights because of his body. Okay? The writing's on the fucking wall. Plus, they got rehabilitation clause on top of that. Man, get the fuck out of there. This dude's getting out of there. Canelo gonna put him out of there. Canelo can't think of him like that, like how we think of it, because he's prepping for the fight. So he has to think for the the best Kovalev and all that shit. But at the end of the day, he gonna knock his ass out. That's what is gonna happen. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. Okay, and when he knocks his ass out, what it really means is, let me paraphrase: he don't belong in the fucking ring with Canelo. Okay, he don't belong in the ring with Canelo. He never belonged in the ring with Canelo. And Canelo should have faced Demetrius Andrade. I'm going to say it again. He don't belong in the fucking ring with Canelo. Okay? Yeah, he's got a great resume. He got a great pass. Andrade Ward exposed his ass. He's exposed. Okay? The last 2 guys that faced him, Elito Alvarez and Anthony Yard, they're not even fucking inside fighters. They're not even inside fighters. Okay? So stop it. Stop it. Stop with the bullshit. Okay? Oh, Canelo, he gonna have to find a way to get on it. He's not like them guys. He's an inside fighter. He gonna get to the inside. He gonna land the body shots. He gonna land the head shots. He gonna land all kinds of fucking shots. He gonna land every single shot in the book. Okay? So stop with the bullshit, people. Stop it. 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 We're not buying it. And that's what, and people are not buying the Kool-Aid. The people who are coming through to see this fight are Canelo fans. This fight has already been rigged against Kovalev. He got all kinds of things going against him. He need luck to win this fight. Okay? So stop with the bullshit. Well, those of us who know boxing know this fight not going the distance. 1. 2, Kovalev's going to get stopped. And 3, this was not a hard fight for Canelo like a Demetrius Andrade fight or Billy Joe Saunders fight or even a Danny Jacobs fight or even a Triple G fight. And Triple G was hittable. Okay? But Triple G's tough. Okay? So let's stop with the bullshit. Okay? Let's stop with the bullshit. This is not an Aaron Lara fight. This is not even a fucking Austin Trout fight. And Canelo dropped Austin Trout. And Austin Trout has been dropped many fights. Okay? Since then. This is not those fights. It's not even a Shane fucking Mosley fight. The fight Shane Mosley had with Canelo was a good ass fight. It was not even a Miga Cotto fight. And Miga Cotto was smaller than Canelo. So let's stop with the bullshit. Okay? Let's stop with the bullshit. It is what it is. It's a mismatch. And y'all gonna see that. And then afterwards, y'all gonna say, oh, well, Kovalev wasn't doing this. Shut the fuck up. Kovalev was always what he was. Shut the fuck up. He was a hell of a fighter until he got exposed. And once he got exposed, people know the recipe to beat his ass. It has nothing to do with his age. It's going to have something to do with his weight. Now we know that after the weigh-in. Okay? All right, so that's what it is. Let's be real about it. Okay? Let's stop with the bullshit. And I wanted to say this was a cherry pick. Okay? I still say it sometimes. I wanted to say this was a fucking cherry pick. You know why? You know why this was a cherry pick? Because Canelo knew that Kovalev was vulnerable to the body. He knew that Kovalev was defensively flawed. He knew that Kovalev had no fucking inside game. He knew this, and he prepared himself for that. Instead of facing a Demetrius Andrade, who is a hell of a lot more difficult challenge than a Sergey Kovalev at his own fucking weight class. And that's all to tell you guys that sometimes some guys go up in weight. They go up in weight to duck other fighters. Okay? I can't call it a duck, but I'm calling it a duck anyway. He's ducking Demetrius Andrade. He don't want no smoke with Demetrius Andrade. You know that. He want a payday. The only problem with it is, DAZN wanted a big fight, but DAZN's stupid. Like they want a third Triple G fight. No, motherfuckers, use your brain. Your biggest, your biggest, your biggest subscription and viewership fight to date has been the Danny Jacobs fight. Well, you hear some stupid ass fan saying, "Oh, it wasn't an exciting fight," and so on. So you expect the Kovalev fight to be exciting? Okay, he gonna stop Kovalev. This is a stay busy fight. But the next fight better be the Demetrius Andrade fight, Canelo, at 160. If you're not gonna do 160, Billy Joe Saunders at 168. Or if you want to stay at 175, Dimitri Bivol. But you're gonna have to face one of them guys. Either Bivol, Saunders, or Andrade. The other two are white, so maybe you'll face them. You don't want to give no black man a paycheck. I'm just saying. It looked like that. You should give Andrade his shot though. Hell of a lot better fighter than Sergey Kovalev. In fact, fucking Danny Jacobs. I heard somebody say Danny Jacobs is not as good a fighter as. What the fuck are you talking about? Then they want to say, well, there's no 160 pounder that would go up to 175 and face a Sergey Kovalev. That's true. That's true. And it's a testament to Canelo's skill that he can take advantage of certain things because he got the skill set to do it. But let's not kid ourselves here, okay? Let's not kid ourselves here. That don't mean that Kovalev's style and the presentation of what he brings to the table is any problem for Canelo. Here's a little bit of a problem, but it's not the same as Demetrius Andrade facing Canelo. And y'all know this. All right? Canelo is a special fighter. So, yes, out of all them fighters at 160, Canelo is the guy that could do that against Kovalev because he got the inside fighting skills, he got the experience, he got all kinds of things, right? So I agree. You know, them other guys, they can't, they probably wouldn't have the kind of success Canelo would have against Sergey Kovalev. This is true. Okay, so Demetrius Andrade, you know, as much as he's skilled and all of that, he gets dropped in fights. And he you know, he's not, you know, he has not proven himself to be as good at the highest level as Canelo has been. All right. In fact, has Canelo ever been dropped in a fight? I don't think Canelo's ever been dropped. It's kind of Floridas, right? Been hurt in fights, but he's never been dropped. So, you know, I'm just saying. Okay. Floyd knew from a long time that Canelo was a special dude, and the best out of all of them was Canelo. He knew this. He wouldn't say it, but he knew it. But yeah, with Canelo, that's the fight he should have had. Demetrius Andrade fight. That fight definitely would have gone 12 rounds. That fight definitely would have been competitive. I thought Canelo would win the fight, but it would be a much closer fight than this Kovalev fight that's going to come. The only way is if Canelo carries Kovalev. If he beats his ass up and then he says, you know, I'm going to carry you to the 12th round. Because that's the only thing. I don't even think Kovalev had the stamina to make it to 12. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, another thing I heard 68 Sports say that, you know, he thought that Amir Khan was outboxing Canelo before he was stopped. That's bullshit. Okay? Canelo was going to the body. Why the judges said that Canelo was ahead on the scorecards? Because he was going to the body, slowing down Khan to the body to set up the knockout. He kept on going to body shots, and then he came with the overhand right. That's how he knocked out Amir Khan. He was slowing him down. Amir Khan took the early rounds, I think round 1 and 2, and then after that was all Canelo. And Khan even said, nah, he didn't outbox Canelo. He said Canelo is a smart fighter. He even said that. So that's bullshit. All right? It's a perception. I agree with 68. It's a perception out there. But I disagree with him that it's true. Musakia the Great says 2020 is going to be the year of the undisputed. Yeah, man. Should be great. I like how all these young fighters with a lot of promise are coming up. Musakia says Canelo did everything Gigi said he was going to do. Fuck yeah. He's doing it. He's definitely doing it. And he's a bad motherfucker. All people saying about Canelo and all this shit, about the judges' scorecards and shit, he a bad motherfucker. Okay? The fact that Canelo would go up in weight, face the so-called boogeyman of 160, which is Triple G, and even have a close fight with him, is amazing, right? So he had, people say he had 2 close fights. I didn't think so. I thought the first fight he outboxed Triple G. Period. People talk about jabs. Jabs don't have shit to do with boxing per se, unless they are leading to power shots or setting up something or doing what they're supposed to do. It's all kinds of jabs anyway. You know, you can even have a power jab. The Triple G wasn't landing any of the power jabs on Canelo. Anyway, that's another story for another day. The point is, he hung in there with Triple G. Say what you want. Everybody said Triple G was going to knock out Canelo. Remember that in the first fight? You know, he was ducking Triple G because he was going to get knocked out. He didn't knock out shit. Right? He didn't knock out shit. Okay? And then, and in the 12th round, Canelo went on a 8-punch combination to Triple G's head. That shit was just, it was ridiculous. Anyways. You know. So say what you want about that. They said he wouldn't take on Aristide Lara. He would duck Aristide Lara. He fought Aristide Lara. Aristide Lara was ghosting him for the first 3 to 4 rounds, and then Canelo came back, right? And then they said, oh, he ducking Triple G. He gave up his belt and stuff. I heard 68 talking about how he gave up his belt for Triple G. No negotiations. They ran out of time, just like with the IBF title. You know, Oscar De La Hoya, and they dropped the ball again. Fucking Oscar De La Hoya and company again. Fucked over Canelo with that belt. That's the truth. And he had to lose his belt. What did Canelo do right after he lost his title? He said, fuck the WBC, and he went and he fought for the WBO title at 154. Just showing I'm a 154 pounder. Now, again, this motherfucker started Canelo weight, okay? And Canelo weight came as a result of the catch weight that Floyd made Canelo do. So Canelo was like, okay, all right. Floyd called the shots on that one. Never again will that happen to me. I'm going to eternally be the A-side. I'm going to call the shots on everything. And Canelo went the opposite way. He was only doing 155 catch weights. This motherfucker was doing catch weights for every fucking fight. Until we called it Canelo weight. Canelo was like, fuck y'all. He even, with Aristide Lara with the WBA belt, he said, fuck the WBA belt. I just want to fight you, motherfucker. You gotta love Canelo, man. These days people say belts don't make Canelo. Canelo don't give a fuck about the belts. Oh my God. Canelo's a funny dude in that respect. Yeah. Canelo's like, man, I beat Triple G. I ain't fighting him again. I ain't giving him no fucking paycheck. I really enjoy those things. Because I'm the same. I'm like, fuck Triple G. Triple G's always the cause of Canelo, and Triple G ain't doing shit. Triple G hasn't done shit. Abel Sanchez be talking him up and shit. He left Abel Sanchez's ass in the dust. Should have stayed with Abel Sanchez, though. He collecting a whooping with Jonathan Banks. He getting his ass whooped. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, Abel Sanchez, man. He would really hype up Triple G, man. Triple G would beat anybody from 154 to 160, 175. You know, this motherfucker ain't faced nobody. You know what he did? He fought 154 pounders. Oh, that's what he did. That's right. Then they want to talk about Canelo. Oh, Canelo pull up Josecito Lopez from 140. That's not true. He fought at welterweight, but nonetheless. And so did Canelo. Canelo came up from welterweight. Canelo came up from 140 pounds, right? Canelo was a 140 pounder, okay? So he came up from that, you know. So it's fair in a way like that. It's like Floyd came up from lightweight, right? So first, Marquez jumping up from lightweight to welterweight to face him. Okay, well, Floyd was a former lightweight. I know he's not a lightweight now, but nonetheless, you know. But they was like, Floyd, he pulled up a little lightweight. No, the motherfucker wanted to face him. Josecito Lopez wanted to face Canelo, okay? Oh, Shane Mosley, he was a welterweight. No, Shane Mosley was not a welterweight. Shane Mosley was old as fuck, and yet Shane Mosley was game throughout that fight. So let's stop at it. Bullshit. Yes, he was done. Mosley was done. Okay? Mosley was done. That is true. But he had one more fight in him, and he put up a hell of a fight, even though it was one-sided still. Okay? This shit ain't gonna happen with Kovalev. Kovalev, his body's gonna betray him, and he's gonna get knocked out. Okay? All right. Now, it's sad to say because, again, I just hope he stays healthy, and I hope that Buddy McGirt throws that towel in when it's right time. Cause Buddy Buddy be talking to convince you so that you would believe that this fight is competitive. This fight is not fucking competitive. I've been saying it over and over before fight day. You know, that's when I have so much confidence. Like I heard my boy, what's his name? Oh shit. He was interviewing Clarissa Shields and all those people. Champ side. Champ side said I got zero confidence in Kovalev. Andrew Ward said the same thing. I got zero confidence in Kovalev. And I, too, now, after seeing everything, I have zero confidence in what Buddy McGirt is saying. He's a hell of a trainer, don't get it wrong. But this shit's fucked. Kovalev is fucked, okay? He's fucked. He is fucked, okay? You know, the whole situation is just fucked up. It's a fucked up situation. And, you know, I wish Kovalev the best. I just hope he comes out of the ring and he's able to visit his families and collect that paycheck, baby. You know, after all is said and done. Put on as good a performance as he can and get paid, okay? Because his ass is about to get beat down. And I feel sorry for him. Yep, Canelo said did everything that GGG said he was going to do. And the thing about it is that's sad. And that's why I don't like Triple G so much. I'm talking about the hype behind him and that kind of stuff. Is they gave Triple G a fight that he did not win. Okay, he did not win that fight against Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko was fucking robbed. And it wasn't no fucking close fight. Okay? It was not a close fight. Alright? Triple G got the first 2 rounds. Yeah, he got the first 2 rounds. And then I struggled to give him a 3rd round. Derevyanchenko won that fight 9-3. Alright? With the first fight that was a draw with Triple G versus Canelo, they said it was a close fight. They said it could have gone either way. I did not see that. I saw Canelo outboxing him for 9 rounds, 9-3, just like our Adelaide Bird saw it. I literally saw that shit. You know who else agrees with me? Mayweather. What's his name? Mayweather Sr. agrees with me, as well as Jeff Mayweather. Jazzy Jeff, okay? Jeff Mayweather agrees with me. Okay, Canelo won the first fight. He outboxed him. He looked like Floyd Mayweather in there. Yes, at certain points in time, Triple G in the 9th round, that was an all Triple G round. He actually even tagged up Canelo and shit like that. But at the end of the day, Triple G did not win that fucking fight, man. Come on, man. Come on. I gave Triple G what? It was the 9th. I think I gave him the 10th, and I think I gave him the 7th round, something like that. Okay? He didn't win that fight, y'all. Y'all just have so much hate for fucking Canelo and y'all wanted to see Triple G get knocked out. I think, no, actually, Triple G didn't win the 10th because I remember Canelo hitting him with a punch and Triple G staggered across the ring. Alright, Triple G did not win that first fight. And sure as fuck didn't win the second fight either. Okay? Oh, he out-jabbed Canelo. What does that mean? Out-jab? What do you mean by out-jab? He landed more jabs than Canelo. What do you mean by that? Their points accumulated. Which means what? Okay? So, you know, it is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. That's why DAZN is not, the buzz and the hype behind this fight is not high. Because most people think, oh, Canelo gonna beat him. He gonna stop him. Okay? Most people think that. And no matter what y'all say, a duck is a fucking duck. I'm done with that. Next time DAZN should do another black fight. Demetrius Andre versus Canelo, or Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo. Or if you could, Caleb Plant versus Canelo. Any one of them things, man. Any one of them things. Don't forget to smash the like button, people. But that's why DAZN ain't getting the buzz that they need for this fight. They making wrong choices, man. Not a third Triple G fight. Third Triple G fight ain't gonna do shit because Canelo done already beat Triple G. He beat him. There's some Triple G fans out there, but Canelo need to have new faces. Canelo should have gone on to face Demetrius Andrade, and let's see how that fight would have gone. Then Canelo need to go see somebody else new. Whether it's Jamal Charlo at 160 or Billy Joe Saunders at 168. Billy Joe Saunders with DAZN. He's with Matchroom. Fucking Andrade is with DAZN and Matchroom. Why the fuck you not making these fights? Bivol with DAZN. Right? Why are you not making those kinds of fights? Those are the fights you need to make. Okay, so you want to beat the legend, like how Oscar De La Hoya beat Julio Cesar Chavez and Hector Camacho, and who's the other old dude he faced and beat? I can't remember. Right? You want to get these legends on your resume. Fine. So you were gonna get Kovalev on your resume, but after that, please, there's nobody else there with that kind of prestige. I don't want to see a fucking third Triple G fight, but if you face Triple G a third time, get that paycheck, whoop his ass, knock him out, kill him, whatever. And then after you're done with that, please, can we go ahead and see a Demetrius Andrade and a Billy Joe Saunders fight? And a Bivol fight. Okay? Let's see those fights. Those are fights that with DAZN, you can make them. They're easy to make fights. Let's see those fights. Okay? Munsakia says, apparently Bob Arum is taking $2 million out of Kovalev's purse. Only $2 million? $2 million's what? If he's making $14 million, that's 1/7 of his purse. I thought Bob Arum takes 30% out of your purse. He's taking a big chunk out of Kovalev's purse, man. If it's only $2 million, that's not a whole lot. That's why Kovalev ain't got a whole set of people around him. I didn't even see a strength and conditioning trainer. It's fucked up. I think Kovalev might cash out on this fight. If I was him, I'd do that. I don't care. I'll cash out. I heard he has 2 more contracts also after this. He's going to have 2 more fights he got to do. I guess he's going to have to face Bivol or something. I feel for the dude, man. I feel for Kovalev. I hope he does well. I'm even rooting for him to knock out Canelo, to be honest with you. Shit. It's fucked up. The kind of things fighters have to go through. Anyway, he at the end of his career for real. So it is what it is. A lot of people thinking that Kovalev gonna do something. He ain't gonna do shit. He's not doing shit. I'm sorry to say that. Yeah. Did I give you guys the predictions? Estrada versus Esparza. I got Estrada. Estrada winning the fight. She's got more skills. She might be the smaller person coming up, but she got more skills than Esparza. Esparza's going to try and impose a will and a strength and a size on her, and she's going to get tagged up like a... She's going to get fucking tagged up. When it comes to Katie Taylor versus the super lightweight champ, Katie Taylor's going to win that fight. Katie Taylor's going to win that fight because the fighter that's going to be facing Katie Taylor, she don't have the style to beat Katie Taylor. Pursoon got the style. Not that fight. Still might be a tough fight for Katie Taylor if she gets tagged up and shit. Monsakia the Great says, even if Kovalev beats Canelo, fighting BWF is a tall task. He ain't going to face BWF next. He will face Bivol. Bob Arum wants to have a fight with Bivol. Kovalev already fighting on his own. So if he wins, yeah, he goes back to top rank according to Bob Arum. But I mean, he might as well fight on his own. He should face Bivol. BWF is too much for him. And BWF beat him in the amateurs, and BWF will kill him. BWF will kill him. Yeah, Kovalev can't beat BWF. He can't. I don't care what anybody says. He ain't beating BWF. That's a match made in hell. If he manages to get past Canelo, he better face Bivol. He have a better chance with Bivol. And Bevo will whip his ass too. Bevo will beat him. He's the weakest of all the light heavyweight champions, I think. Dimitri Bivol and BWF might put him in a coma. BWF will put him in a coma. Bivol, on the other hand, that'd be a good fight. Kovalev versus Bivol would be a good fight. I still got Bivol. Because Bivol hit some nasty body shots. And when he hits some 4, 5, 6 body shots, Kovalev gonna go down. And I tell you, he doesn't win against none of them guys. He's the weakest link. That's why Canelo took him. Because he got the name, he got the ranking, but in reality, he's the weakest link right now. And Canelo was like, this is a good fight for me. Yeah, he got power. Yeah, he got jab. He don't bring nothing else to the table. Anthony Yard, he looked good against Anthony Yard because Anthony Yard was inexperienced. You know. In the beginning, though, early on in the rounds 1 and 2, he couldn't even touch Anthony Yard. It's when Anthony Yard started coming in. Anthony Yard did a better job against Sergey Kovalev than Andre Ward did. Anthony Yard's problem, he was taking Kovalev's power pretty good too. The problem with Anthony Yard was in the 8th round, he got super excited and started loading up on every fucking shot. He went for broke. He decided, you know, Tunde Ajayi said the dumbest fucking shit ever. Empty the tank! He's done! Empty the cake! I was like, what the fuck? So he emptied the tank. He had nothing. He was just running on fumes after that. He was trying to come back. Kovalev, he let Kovalev back in the fight, and Kovalev did him in, man. So that's why. But they saw that the fight wasn't going past 8, so they decided they was going to get him out in the 8th round. But you can't do boxing like that. You have to still have to keep your composure, take your time, break down the fighter. If he had only kept his composure, kept on working the body, dipping and slipping and rolling and going to the body, he'd have got him out in the 9th round for sure. He'd have got him out. Empty the tank! I was like, what the hell? It was too excited. He's tired! He's tired! Get him! Get him! Lion! That was what's happening in the 8th round. They were really excited. Andre Ward left light heavy just in time. Nah. Andre Ward beat all them guys, including BWF. Andre Ward is a scientist, man. He always have a game plan for everything. And he's not as skilled as Floyd. And on the inside, he's not as skilled as Canelo. But he knew how to use what he was using to his advantage. Yeah. And again, it's not just throwing the jab. A lot of people say, oh, this guy's outboxing him because he's throwing so many jabs. That's not all. You have different kinds of jabs for different purposes. And you have to know why you're throwing your jab and for what purpose you're throwing your jab. And even if you don't throw your jab, are you being effective with whatever you're doing? And that's the thing about these fighters, you know. So, you know, it is what it is. We're going on almost 2 hours, folks. I'm going to wrap it up right here. But like I said, I just did doing the other predictions. Oh, I almost forgot about this fight. On the Mayweather card, we're going to have Richard Hitchinson versus Kevin Johnson. That's a good ass fucking fight. Okay. Richard Hitchinson is a very good fighter. He's undefeated. He's coming up. This is going to be his toughest test, which will be Kevin Johnson. Should be a good fight. Kevin Johnson, if you guys know him from the Mayweather Boxing Channel, from the Mayweather Boxing Gym, trained by I forgot the name of the boxer, the former boxer trainer now. Um, that's a good ass fight. I favor Richard Hitchinson to win. It's a hard worker and everything, but you just never know. So we're gonna see how that fight goes. He's a lot sharper than the other guy. Kevin Johnson's, you know, bigger, stronger, but he's not as sharp. So we'll see what happens with that fight. That's a good fight for over the weekend. That is a 50-50 fight. We'll see who comes out on top. You know, like both guys. So I just remember that. If I have to do a prediction, I said it again. Richard Hitchinson came up with Shakur. He's right now with Tank. You know, Tank be training, but Tank still look big. I don't know if Tank have a belly or gut or whatever, but Tank looking big, boy. Tank is a big boy. And Tank is used to fighting guys bigger than him. So Canelo, at the age of 15, this motherfucker knocked out. I remember he knocked out an opponent, knocked him down and shit. At the age of fucking 15, Canelo was doing that. He was scrawny, like a scrawny little kid, Canelo was doing that shit. So, I mean, I think he turned pro when he just before his 16th birthday. Canelo is a bad motherfucker. He'd been fighting guys smaller than him, bigger than him. I mean, it doesn't matter. Your dimensions, your size, it don't matter. Canelo beat your ass, The only person he did not beat was Floyd Mayweather. And that's because Floyd Mayweather is a similar kind of boxer like Canelo. He's a similar... When Floyd saw Canelo, when Floyd first saw Oscar's protege, Canelo, he said, man, you got a good one right there. Floyd eyed him from way, way back. And when Canelo said, I'm ready. I was born ready. I was born ready. 2013. He thought he was ready. He wasn't ready for Floyd. No, he wasn't. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but, this man been fighting names, though. Say what you want. He been fighting names. You know what I'm saying? Taking numbers and fighting names. He a bad motherfucker. Canelo's Floyd said it. That boy, I don't care what nobody says. Canelo can fucking fight. He said that a long time ago. Okay? And Floyd likes Canelo, obviously. He shit talk Canelo, but he likes Canelo. I like Canelo. Most boxers like Canelo. Devin Haney likes Canelo. Gervonta Davis likes Canelo. Adrian Broner likes Canelo. I could just talk about the boxers who... Mikey Garcia likes Canelo. Leo Santa Cruz, I don't know what his story is, but he be talking about how, that's a tough fight for Canelo and shit like that. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Because, anyway. And Marquez be hating straight up because Canelo... there's certain fighters who, they're jealous of other fighters. Well, Manuel Marquez, he jealous of Canelo. All right? Julio Cesar Chavez said he thought Canelo's resume he said he thinks Canelo is better pound for pound than Marquez. And the reason he gave was that, Marquez struggled with Pacquiao, right? Whereas Canelo and lost to Pacquiao. Canelo hasn't lost to nobody except for Floyd. But he said the perception is that Marquez kept on fighting Pacquiao until he got his gut back. And the Mexican fans, they wanted Canelo to have that same attitude against Triple G. He fight Triple G till he became a clear winner. Which may still happen. I mean, it may still happen. Canelo don't like Triple G, but he might still give him that fight. Because he have 11 fights with DAZN. So, I mean, say what you want. I mean, Floyd Mayweather made that kind of money in one fucking night against Conor McGregor. He made that money in one fucking night against Manny Pacquiao. Now, let me put that in context. Actually, he didn't really make that in one fucking night. It took his whole fucking career to do that. Okay, Floyd. It took Floyd. I think it's 46 fights before he could make that kind of payday, and it took him 50 fights to make that kind of payday against Conor McGregor. So, if we're really being honest, it's because of his career and all that hard work he put in, it added up to that, okay? So, in a retrospect, when you think about it, Canelo getting this kind of contract in 11 fights, I mean, And 11 fights means that's mostly Canelo's career. Okay, so right now he's gone through how many of them in the zone? He went Danny Jacobs. That's it. No, sorry, my bad. Um, Rocky Field and then Danny Jacobs. So he's gone through 2 of them. He has 9 more fights left. Right? That's a lot of fights. Okay, and he's going to have to fight these young, strong champions. There's nobody else left in terms of the old legends. Okay, so therefore Oscar might be right. He might have to face Triple G again. It may be at 168. Triple G may have to move up in weight to face him. If he can make 160, then we got Demetrius Andrade, we got Jamal Charlo, we got Derevyanchenko, we got Gennady Golovkin. Then we got at 168, we got, in terms of DAZN fighters, Billy Joe Saunders, Danny Jacobs. You got Caleb Plant, who's not with DAZN, he's with PBC, but that don't mean shit. They can make that happen. What else we got? We got, of course, the Callum Smith. We got Benavidez, David Benavidez. We got Anthony Durrell, Chris Eubank Jr. I heard Chris Eubank Jr. is going down to 160, so we're going to face Matt Korobov. I mean, you got names. We got a name was light heavyweight. You know what? Let me call out all the names of all of them, because this is like a lot of names Canelo could go through. He got a lot of fights between. He's not going back down to 154. You can forget about that. But hold on a second. No, I don't want to fuck it. Fuck you. Oh, hold on. What's that? Messages. Digicel. I haven't done shit with Digicel in a little minute. In a quick minute. I gotta get a phone plan. Let me call up all the names Canelo could still face in his career. He got a lot of names, and his career is not even near finished. So he gonna have a lot of people he could face. Can you scroll the fuck down, man? There you go. So I'm gonna go through it right now. It's gonna be great. Damn, I need to go use the toilet again. All right, listen to the names. At light heavyweight, we got Gilberto Ramirez, who is #1 contender to IBF right now in the WBC. In the IBF, we got some guy called Mang Fanglong, who I don't know who the fuck he is. We got Jesse Hart at 175. Okay. We have Cairo Murat, Badu Jack, Blake Caparillo, Jean Pascal, who is right now #1 contender to Dimitri Bivol, Anthony Yard, Sullivan Barrera, Elita Alvarez, Marcus Brown. See how much motherfuckers out there? All right. So we got all them guys. That's at 175. 175 is stacked. Then we got at 168, David Benavidez, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, Willie Monroe Jr., Fedor Chudanov, Jurgen Brahma, Jose Uzcategui, who faced Caleb Plant, Chris Eubank Jr., Peter Quillen, Caleb Truax, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Danny Jacobs, Alfredo Angulo, David Lemieux. Okay, all of them names at 168. And then at middleweight, we got Jamal Charlo, Sergey Derevyanchenko, Turiano Johnson, Maciej Sulecki, Matvey Korobov, Brandon Adams, who did very well against Jamal Charlo, Magmomed Madiev, Rob Brandt, who got his ass beat by Ryota Murata. We also got Jeff Horn is there, but who gives a fuck about Jeff Horn? We also have Michael Zarafa. That's a good fighter. Michael Zarafa should have faced Demetrius Andrade. We got some fucking asshole named Steven Butler, who Demetrius Andrade's gonna be beating the fuck out of. You know, who the fuck is he? Anyway, he gonna get his shot. Steven Butler, who the fuck is he? So that's what you got, and of course, we got to look out for Jarrett Hurd, who's going to be coming up to 160 at some point. Might even see Jaime Munguia as well. Okay, overcast all day with this in rain. That's crazy. Jaime Munguia is another guy that might be coming up to 160. So there's all those names, there's all those guys, and then new guys will come on the scene. So Canelo, for the next couple of years, man, he got, people saying he have about 7 more years in the tank. And people saying, he's been fighting for 14 years and he's been fighting since he's 16. But if I do recall, Roberto Duran fought for a very long time. The difference is Canelo wasn't really taking no serious punishment. So, even though he's been 14 years in the sport of boxing professionally, he didn't really take no big set of punishment. So he could have a 24, 26 year career, which means he could run for the next 12 years, 10 years in the game. He could still have all of that in the game, and that's a lot of time to be at the top of the game and to be facing top names. So Canelo really is ahead of the curve in many respects, but there are some other young ones coming up, and they will be even doing better than Canelo. So we're going to look to see what kind of career Canelo's going to have. But he already got a hell of a career. For 29 years of age, he's going to be 30 soon. And so we're looking at, he could go till he's about, he might go till he's around maybe 37, 38, maybe even longer. He may even go till 40. Like Pacquiao, but he isn't taking a whole set of punishment, so he may be able to even go further. You never know. Sports medicine might be even better, so he may have 11, 12 years in the tank. He might be going till he's 42. Who knows? And still performing at a peak level. So we'll see what happens with Canelo, how long he stays in the game, but it's just remarkable what he's been able to do so far, so early in his career. Even if it's just 7 more years he's got, it's going to be a hell of something. It's going to be a hell of something. So we'll see. But he got a lot of names. He got a lot of opponents he can face. So he's not going to run out of opponents. And top tier guys, the top tier guys that he has to face, we're talking world champions and guys at the top level. At 160, we're talking about Jamal Charlo. We're talking about Demetrius Andrade. And then the number one contender guys like Sergey Derevyanchenko. He's one of them. And that's about it, really, at 160. So he really just has 1, three more names to deal with, and he cleans out 160 at the top. That is, and top names in 168. We're dealing with David Benavidez, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders. That's four other names. Add to your three, that's seven. So that's seven more fights right there you could have. Then you got Chris Eubank Jr., which is another name you could talk about. Um, you got you know, he's faced most of the other guys here. It's another good name in here. That's about it. So Chris Eubank Jr. That's five names. That's 8 fights right there. And then when you talk about light heavyweight, this is the division that got lots of names. You got Gilberto Ramirez, Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol. That's 3. Jean Pascal. That's 4. He's another guy with a legacy. So you might want to face Jean Pascal. It's big, strong though. Big, strong light heavyweight. But yeah, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 names right there. So he's already cleaned out all his fights. Then you got, of course, you got Marcus Brown. You got Badu Jack, Jesse Hart, Elita Alvarez, Sullivan Barrera. So he got more names than he has on his contract for fights. So when it comes to top tier guys, you're talking about 1, 2, 3. You're talking about 11 fights right there. So he could clean out divisions. He could clean out divisions. 3 divisions if he wanted to. With 11 fights. Of course, he's really got 9 fights, so it'll have to be 9 guys he'll face, or at least 9 fights he'll have. But he could definitely do that. Munsakia the Great says, Floyd became more efficient as his career went on, making more and more money while taking less and less punishment. Very intelligent on Floyd's part. Yeah. This is true. He made some very good money along the way in boxing. But again, what a lot of people don't know is in the training camps, he took a lot of punishment in the training camps, to get himself in shape and stuff, to stay in shape and all of that. So it does pay on your body. It does take a toll on your body. And so he had a lot of injuries. Guys like Andrew Ward, same thing. Lots of injuries. Just talking about Canelo's leg, that's just one piece of an injury. Does Canelo have any other rotator cuff injuries or stuff like that? If not, he fresh in the game still, even at 29, almost 30. When Floyd was 29, 30, he didn't have the names on his resume Canelo had. When Floyd was 30, he just faced Oscar De La Hoya. Munsakia says Floyd didn't even have to get in shape. He was always in shape. Well, he was always in fitness shape, not always in boxing shape. Even though he used to spar year round, and keep weight and all of that, he was fit. But remember, he still had to have training camps to prepare for fighters. So that's why when he first faced Errol Spence, we heard that Errol Spence really gave him the work. But then as he sparred him later on for the Robert Guerrero fight, became easy work for him. Because you can't, one of the things you got to understand is in boxing, you can't be going hard all the time. You have to have time for the body to recoup and rest. So you have to work smart, not hard. Especially the older you get, it's the more you need rest, which is why Kovalev is at a disadvantage also there. It is what it is. I'm going to go check out the news on YouTube. Don't forget, guys, thank you so very much for contributing and talking. Don't forget you can also donate to this channel and share this channel with other places, other websites, other boxing places with your friends and so on. What you need, don't forget you can donate to this channel. Munsakia says you'll never see Floyd blowing up 20 pounds. Hell no. Not even to this day. He still stays in a certain degree of shape, even though he don't get always to work out how he wants to. He still stays in a certain degree of shape, but he's not coming back to boxing. People talking about Floyd coming back. He's not coming back to boxing. I was listening to, I was listening to Larry Merchant when he was being interviewed by the Boxing Voice and by Ellie Sackback, and it was interesting when they asked Larry Merchant, who you think is the best fighter of all time. He said Sugar Ray Robinson, which is a standard talk that most people say. Um, but he then goes on to say and qualifies by saying, Floyd saying he's the best ever. He's not the best ever. I laugh because, you know, Larry Merchant always had a chip on his shoulder against Floyd Mayweather. And he tried to turn everybody against him, including Emmanuel Stewart. He also had a chip against Roy Jones Jr. And it's interesting that even after all this time, Larry Merchant still tries to turn around. Floyd is retired, all kinds of shit. And Larry Merchant still tries to down Floyd Mayweather. And I've gone in groups where there's been this tit for tat with Floyd and Manny Pacquiao, two great fighters of this era, have done remarkable things. I listen to people always talking about, I'm going to go in on Floyd right now. I'm going to go in on Floyd. Now, I'm critical of Floyd as well. Don't get it twisted. But a lot of people go in on Floyd and, how, his 50-0, there are other fighters who have done that and been undefeated and went on undefeated streaks and shit like that. And people keep on saying the same shit over and over. First of all, there are very few motherfuckers that retired undefeated. Very few motherfuckers. That's the first point. There are about, I think it's 3 or 4 of them that have crossed the 50-0. Okay? Let me tell you how fucking difficult it is to do what Floyd did. 1, Floyd had a flawless record. What I mean by that is he has no draws on his record. He's not just undefeated. He's won every single fucking fight he has had. Okay, now that is very difficult to do. That's the first point. The second point is the level of competition that Floyd Mayweather has faced throughout his career, meaning he's faced everybody that at the top, he's faced everybody. And still being undefeated, that shit is very difficult to do. Okay? No, it's very few people going to do that. So when they say 50-0, Floyd's 50-0, that's crazy. It's ridiculous. Now, right now, Wenyan Menyoffin is 54-0. Okay? But Wenyan Menyoffin hasn't faced everybody in his division. And he sure as fucking hell hasn't faced the top guys in his division. Okay, he's been a WBC champ, defending his WBC title. He's never tried to unify, never tried to do none of that shit. He's faced some good fighters, don't get me wrong, but not the very best. Motherfucking Floyd has faced the very best of his era and beat all of them. And with the exception of the Castillo fights, the first one, with exception, I'm only talking about close fights, right? The Castillo fight, Miguel Cotto fight, the Marcos Maidana fight, the first one, and the Oscar De La Hoya fight, which was not close, so I will leave that out. So with the exception of Cotto, Castillo, and Maidana, Burton, I can't even see the DeMarcus Corley fight. What other fights? That's about it. Because the other fights, they were very, very competitive. Jesus Chavez fight was very competitive. Emmanuel Berto fight was very competitive. But they ended in KOs. He stopped those guys. See, what was this another very competitive fight? Trying to think. Jesus Chavez. So Jesus Chavez, but it was stopped. They stopped that fight. Fucking Emmanuel Burton fight was very competitive. That was a tough ass fight, but Burton got stopped. That's about it. So other than the Castillo, the first Maidana fight, and the Miguel Cotto fight, was fucking competitive. I think it was Floyd's toughest fight of his career. Um, Aside from those fights, Floyd made it look easy with everybody else. Okay, the Zab Judah fight was competitive for a while, and then Floyd just separated himself. Shane Mosley fight, it looked like Shane Mosley was going to really beat him up, and then he beat the stuffing out of Shane Mosley. Oscar De La Hoya fight looked competitive for. It never looked competitive to me, to be honest with you. Floyd looked like he was having fun with Oscar. What else? Pacquiao fight was the easiest probably of them all. Just the Maidana fight. The Maidana fight, the Castillo fight, and the Cotto fight. Those were Floyd's toughest fights, and they were closer than. In fact, Floyd had to come from behind in the Marcos Maidana fight, right? And the Miguel Cotto fight was a battle of attrition. That was the most bruising fight I've ever seen of Floyd's career. He had to fucking fight Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto made fucking Floyd Mayweather fight, like Jesus Chavez made him fight, like Jose Luis Castillo down the stretch making Floyd fight. He had to fucking fight Jose Luis Castillo in the 10th round. Castillo will make you fucking fight. Jesus Chavez made him fight. And Marcos Maidana made him fight. Nah, he chose to fight Marcos Maidana. But Cotto, Castillo, and Julio and Jesus Chavez, those motherfuckers made Floyd fight. It came down to fighting. That was great. And Emmanuel Burton made his ass fight. But I think aside from that, DeMarcus Corley too. DeMarcus Corley made Floyd. Well, Floyd couldn't fight him. He had to turn around and box him. He was trying to bang with him. He could not bang with DeMarcus Corley. He turned around and boxed him, and that's how he dropped him twice. But at the end of the day, aside from those fights, man, Floyd had been dominant for most of his career. Dominant. Okay? Now, that's his 50-0. Now, some people will argue, well, man, he faced fucking Conor McGregor. He faced Conor McGregor. True. It's a fucking debutante. True. 100%. Cherry pick fight. True. 100%. Still count on his resume, whether you like it or not. Okay? I thought the Berto fight was a cherry pick, and I thought that a high level cherry pick, just like how fucking Canelo right now is facing Sergey Kovalev, and I think that's a high level cherry pick. I think the Berto fight's a high level cherry pick. Okay? I just don't see how Kovalev would bring something to the table that Canelo's not ready for. Just like how I didn't think Berto was going to bring nothing to the table. Berto, big, strong guy, knockout artist, knocked out his last couple of opponents. But I just think he was no competition for Floyd. That's like how I think Sergey Kovalev is no fucking competition for Canelo. He's not no competition for Canelo. I don't care what your guys say. He's not no fucking competition for Canelo. He's not. So, it is what it is. But, yeah. So, Mayweather, I believe, is the best ever. Not because of his 50-0. Because of who he's faced in that 50-0. Been a dominant fighter throughout his era. Dominant. Like, really dominant, And the thing about Floyd, unlike, and this is the thing that, like, a lot of people just don't get. People talk about Sugar Ray Leonard mop the floor with Floyd. No, he won't. Okay? And the reason being, we're going to talk about Floyd Mayweather. The reason is Floyd has way too many tools. Much more tools than Sugar Ray Leonard. A lot of people say, well, Sugar Ray Leonard has the same tools as Floyd. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Okay? No. It's just what it is. And, when you talk about guys like Canelo, Floyd beat Canelo, yes. But at the end of the day, Canelo is another special kind of fight. Okay? Like I said to people, Adrian Broner had a style something like Canelo. You're not going to touch Adrian Broner just like that. I mean, Marcus McDonald did, but you're not going to just touch him like that. And you need somebody who's an unorthodox boxer to give them problems. Something they didn't see before. You also have to get like with Canelo. You gotta, yes, you have to be a smart fighter, but you also have to have an all-around game to even try to engage with Canelo. Or you better be able to fucking inside fight. To give him some kind of trouble. If you're a bigger guy. So, when Larry Merchant said he sure as hell ain't the best ever. Yeah, but back your shit up, motherfucker. You always shitting on Floyd. Because you always want to see some Gaddy Ward shit. And by the way, Gaddy beat Ward so much easier in the next 2 fights. He didn't take no fucking punishment. The first fight, he fucked up. Gaddy fucked up. That's why he took Ward for granted and he did not make an adjustment to Ward closing the distance on him. And that's why he lost that fight to Ward. In a bloody fucking fight, too. Second fight was easier. Third fight was easier. And, so if you're praising Gaddy having fucked his own self over, and you're praising that, then you're a dumbass, because Gaddy wasn't proud of that fucking fight. Okay? So, a battle of will and mind. Fuck out of here. Everybody got will and mind in boxing. Everybody takes risk by stepping into that square circle. So don't be praising mediocrity. Y'all are praising mediocrity. Again, that fucking Rocky movie fucked up boxing. Alright? I'm even hearing them talking about, will, the will, and they throw all the game plan out the window, and, you gotta go fucking fight with the promo, 40 days promo for Canelo and Kovalev. That shit ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? That shit is not gonna happen. Kovalev is gonna fold. Alright, and if he don't fold, Buddy gonna have to pull the towel on him, or the ref is gonna have to stop the fucking fight. Alright, because Buddy gonna be thinking about Dada Chef. And he would say, you know what, I gotta pull this, I gotta pull the plug on this fucking fight. So what I'm saying is that Canelo changes his style. He don't come in the ring the same way twice. So there's no fucking game plan for Canelo. And you cannot imitate what Canelo does. Okay? You can't. It's chess, not checkers, motherfucker. So Buddy McGirt is coming with a strategy he might have implemented against Pernell Whitaker. The difference is Pernell Whitaker used the jab. Canelo don't use no fucking jab just like that. He uses the jab when he wants to use the jab, or when he thinks it's necessary. And, if Canelo takes 2 steps forward, Kovalev will take 2 steps back. Well, brother, you better be able to read properly, because Canelo will faint your ass out of position. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I ain't gonna say no more about that. Skills pay the bills, baby. And you saw them. They say, what they say? No boxing, no life. Y'all ain't got a clue. Munsakir the Great says Floyd's standards is better than most, if not all. That's why he's the best ever. So what I was saying to you guys is that, Floyd prepared for fights, man. He prepared for fights. He fought all year round. The difference between Floyd and some of these new school boxers is they always trying to train to get in shape, to get ready for fights. Floyd always stayed ready. Floyd once said, I am boxing, meaning, I've dedicated my whole fucking life to this. This is all my lifestyle has been always this. Boxing always came first. Floyd took care of his body. Sugar Ray Robinson didn't take care of his fucking body, right? He drank. He partied. Okay? Floyd didn't do that. All right? Joe Louis. All these so-called greats from the past. Sugar Ray Robinson got his ass knocked out the ring by Jake LaMotta. Knocked his ass out the ring. Floyd's never got his ass knocked out of the ring. He got almost tackled out the ring. He never been knocked out the ring. Okay? And Jake LaMotta, he was a raging bull, but Marcus McDonald was a raging bull too. So let's just get our facts right. Okay? So I mean, at the end of the day, Marcus McDonald outweighed Floyd by more than Jake LaMotta outraged Sugar Ray Robinson when they fought at welterweight. Okay, Sugar Ray Robinson came in like 144. Jake LaMotta came in. Jake LaMotta came in 161 or something like that. All right. Whereas Marcus Maidana came in 165. Floyd came in 146. 19 pounds heavier than Floyd. Hyperhydrated. And that motherfucker was like a machine against Floyd. And Floyd got hit on the top of the head with that anchor punch. Motherfucker got discombobulated, tried to go clinch again. Realized he could not clinch. Marcus Maidana was not going to allow him to clinch. Was not going to allow him to lock up. That was a real fucking fight. Awkward as hell. Great jab. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the best ever. We're not talking about no fucking greatest. Y'all can take that. When it comes to the best ever boxer in boxing, as of now, Floyd Mayweather. But he gonna get surpassed. He gonna get surpassed. The cat's coming up now. He gonna get surpassed. He might even get surpassed by Canelo. Canelo might surpass him. I was thinking it would take about 10 years for that to be surpassed. Certain accomplishments that Floyd has accomplished will not be accomplished anytime soon, but it don't mean that there won't be better boxers than him. And Canelo right now is on a tear at the age of 29. Canelo's on a tear. And then them up and coming boxers that behind Canelo, they on a tear too. So the shit's really getting hot. So we're gonna see what happens, And Pacquiao still be holding down the fort for the OGs as well. I love to see what Pacquiao's next fight is. Because Pacquiao doing some shit. He might be the greatest boxer of all time. We'll see how his career ends off. This motherfucker be doing some crazy shit. He is senator. He does the he has a whole boxing league he runs. And this motherfucker in acting. He sings. This motherfucker boxes as well. Oh my God, Manny Pacquiao. If he ain't the greatest, by the time his career is over, then I must be mad. Because this motherfucker almost the greatest. And again, so you guys will understand, this phenomenon, Floyd faced this phenomenon in his era and beat him. That counts. Just saying Manny Pacquiao's name on Floyd's list is crazy. And he beat him easy too. That's some fucking shit. That's some epic shit. You know what I'm saying? As much as people praise up Jake LaMotta and all of that shit, Manny Pacquiao trumps LaMotta. Let's just be real about this shit now, okay? Manny Pacquiao trumps almost everybody in history in terms of greatness, okay? This motherfucker came up from flyweight. That shit is just mind-boggling. We have flyweights right now. They can't get past bantamweight. This motherfucker came up from flyweight. All right? Think about what I'm saying. It's ridiculous when you think about it. Got all the way up to welterweight. And also fought at super welterweight for a little bit. Not the true full super welterweight, but nonetheless, he peaked at that. And you're looking at this shit. I know they picked his fights. I know they picked his fights on how guys was coming off losses and all that shit and catch weights and all that. I know that. Okay? But it's still mind-boggling that the dude came up from flyweight. Okay? Listen. Y'all don't understand. Fucking Henry Armstrong, right? Henry Armstrong came up from featherweight. Right? Marcus came up from featherweight, right? Marcus came up from featherweight and fought at welterweight. Okay? So you have featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, right? That's basically what Henry Armstrong did. He dipped his foot a little bit into middleweight, what we would call right these days super welterweight, right? Manny Pacquiao came up from fucking flyweight. Y'all, does it register in your head what I'm saying? 112 pounds. Yes, he was 16 years old. Yes. Most 16-year-olds are not flyweights at the time, but nonetheless. He came from flyweight. He came up from flyweight. Then he fought at super bantamweight, which is like featherweight. So he fought at flyweight, then he fought at featherweight, fought the best at featherweight, the best at flyweight, and beat them. And then he went up to lightweight. This motherfucker went up to lightweight next, and he beat a lightweight. Then he went up to welterweight. So he fought at flyweight, and he won a championship there. He fought at featherweight, didn't win a championship there, but he fought the man at featherweight. Then he fought at lightweight title, and then he fought at welterweight. That is 4 of the original weight classes, and he won a he won a version of the welterweight title. Okay, multiple times, right? Henry Armstrong fought also 4 of the original weight classes, right? He fought featherweight and won a title there, the undisputed. He fought lightweight, won the undisputed title there. And he fought a welterweight and won the undisputed title. But the difference is Henry Armstrong did not win a title at middleweight. He fought in 4 weight classes, but he didn't win a title at middleweight. Just like Alpaki didn't win a title at featherweight. All right? Did Henry Armstrong face the best middleweight there? No, he didn't either. The guy who had the undisputed title at middleweight at the time was, I don't know who. I have to go check. I have to check the year and find out. But he didn't face that guy. He faced a Filipino boxer, by the way. And that guy, they fought to a draw. Some argue that Henry Armstrong won, but they fought to a draw. So my point anyway is this. While Pacquiao did not win undisputed titles, he did face the lineal champions in He faced the lineal champions in 2 weight classes. He faced the lineal flyweight champion. He faced the lineal featherweight champion. Yeah. And the full weight classes I'm talking about, not the partial weight classes. At welterweight, he faced the lineal champion, which was Floyd Mayweather. But he lost to him. And he did not face the lineal champion at lightweight. Or did he? Who did he face? Yeah, I think he did face the lineal champion at lightweight. I think David Diaz was the lineal champion. David Diaz beat Eric Morales. That's right. He beat Eric Morales to become the WBC lightweight champion. So he was the lineal champion, I believe. David Diaz was the lineal champion. So I think he faced 3 of the 4 weight classes. He faced lineal champions. Well, actually, he faced in all 4 weight classes the lineal champion. The problem was he lost to one, which was Floyd. Yeah, that's how that goes. Floyd was the WBC champion, who was the lineal champion, because he beat Victor Ortiz for the lineal championship. Victor Ortiz beat Andre Berto. Andre Berto beat... Who did Andre Berto beat to get the WBC title? Andre Berto picked up the WBC title after Floyd dropped it off. That's what happened. Floyd was the lineal champion. He dropped it off. Andre Berto faced who for the WBC title? I don't know. I'll have to check. Actually, I can see. Check it right now. So anyway, the point is that definitely Mayweather is the best ever boxer. Not the greatest. I always tell people he's not the greatest boxer. All right, people. It's almost 3 hours in. I'm going to call it a day. I got Ryan Garcia murdering Duno, by the way. Ryan Garcia by murder. Come on, bitch. The fuck just happened? Right. So let me just. Oh yeah, he picked up the vacant title against Miguel Angel Rodriguez, who he knocked out. Check the names that Andre Berto defended against with the title. He defended against Steve Forbes, who was a good fighter back then. He just faced Oscar De La Hoya. He lost to him, but he put up a good showing. And then he faced Louis Collazo. Louis Collazo is a hell of a fighter. He always put up a tough fight. Put up a tough fight against Louis Collazo. Put up a tough fight against Andre Berto. Then he faced Carlos Quintana, who was once a world champion, and he knocked him out. And then he faced Victor Ortiz 2 fights later. And Victor Ortiz beat his ass. Then he went on to beat Jan Zavik to get the IBF title. And then he was stripped of it because he was supposed to face Shane Mosley. Did not face Shane Mosley. And I think he took too long to get, because he was dealing with the Haiti situation. And then he went on to face Robert Guerrero. Robert Guerrero did him in. Right after that, he faced Jesus Soto Karass. He damaged his shoulder. And he got stopped in the 11th. And then he came back in 2014 after his blood was clean and stuff. His health was back in order. He beat Steve Upton Chambers, and then he knocked out Josecito Lopez. Then he got the Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight, which he was out of class. He returned. He beat Victor Ortiz, knocking him out. And that set up a Sean Porter fight. Sean Porter stopped him. And then Devin Alexander, he faced last year. I got a split decision win over him. It's a good fight, actually. But Berto hasn't fought since then. Looks like his career is tapering to an end. At the tail end of his career, so always been in ridiculous shape, though. So he's setting up for life after boxing. He was talking about that. So he actually fought for vacant title. So I guess Floyd was always the lineal champion anyway. But anyway, Pacquiao faced Floyd, who was the lineal champion. I guess Victor Ortiz and Andre Berto weren't lineal champions. But Floyd was. Floyd was lineal. So once lineal, I guess you can't stop being lineal. So he came back, dominated, and Pacquiao faced him. Yeah. Manny Pacquiao, man. Hell of a fighter. Hell of a guy. So anyway, that's what I got to say for you guys. Deuces to you guys. That's why DAZN is not doing so great. DAZN, they keep on thinking that the marquee fights are fights which are mismatches. And real boxing fans are people who help you promote your fights. So if the real boxing fans say, this is a great fight, this is a great fight, this is a great fight, it translates to the casual fans. Because even though the media might say one thing, if it's not backed by the actual fandom, which is much more than the media, it don't matter how much the media preach. It's the fandom to carry it further and get people excited. It's always been the core fandom that will make... If the core fandom is excited about a fight and the media is excited about a fight, then the casual fans will be excited about that fight too. So you have to have everybody on board. And the thing about it is, anybody who knows boxing good enough and saw Kovalov's last couple of fights, know he's iffy. And so... yeah, he might be so much bigger than Canelo, it seems, but he's still iffy, So that's how I look at it, and that's why there's not so much buzz for this fight. But if you had done a Demetrius, see, DAZN, they keep on fucking up their own self. If you did a Canelo versus Demetrius Andrade fight in Las Vegas, two young, strong champions, you'd have gotten a hell of a lot more buzz because the boxing community would have been in wild. They would be like, who's really going to win this fight? And on top of that, it would have been a fight in which a lot of people couldn't really pick the winner. The bookies would have been like, We say Canelo, but we don't know by how much. Maybe by, 1 point or 2 points. Maybe he's a 1-to-1 favorite or a 1 to 1.5 favorite. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a close fight, and that would have made for a great fight. As it is, this fight is not going to be a great fight. It's gonna be action packed for a bit. It's gonna be exciting, but one way, one sided, and then a KO. You know, is what it is, I guess. Anyway, peoples, deuces to you all. Don't forget you can subscribe, share, comment, and donate to my channel via Western Union MoneyGram. Donations accepted at all times. All right. All you guys got to do is notify me that you want to send money to me, and I'll try and make things happen. We can also negotiate some other way. All right, guys. Have a good one. Peace.